Clicking OK now.
So are we going live right now?
Yeah. Don't know if we are yet. Because
This is going to be the worst,
there's
isn't
that
it?
delay.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, sure.
So we're just gonna chit chat for a bit.
Yeah, I guess
starts
like
up.
we usually do.
Well-
We usually talk about food to start off all of our podcasts.
I do have a bag of cashew nuts. I was supposed to transfer them into my tin, but I completely forgot.
Yeah, this is an episode.
The fact
Oh,
that we've
for sure.
tweeted, I'm assuming we do actually have now.
Yeah.
Look, there we go. There's a
Welcome everybody to the Permadeath podcast episode. Is it
E3.
18?
Episode
Is it
E3.
18? Episode E3.
E3.
Yeah, it's not episode 18.
You don't want to count this as episode 18?
You
I
didn't
think
want
we
to count
should.
it.
I said I did.
Okay, so we're gonna take questions.
We got the chat.
Okay, yeah, we do.
Oh man.
Our first ever live episode carries on the tradition of our E3 week where we live stream through a bunch of press conferences. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it to every one, but we did it. You guys
we
did
didn't
it.
do the PC
No, we
gaming
didn't do the
show.
PC one, and it turns
Oh,
out
okay.
that there was some stuff announced in that I would have quite liked to have seen. But oh well.
I watched
Never
like
know.
half of it afterwards. It was like a chat show, and it was kind of weird, but not bad. I don't know. Anyway, continue with the introduction.
Yeah. So we figured we'd do this live, and then it'll also be up as VOD and on iTunes for your listening pleasure. So if you miss it, you didn't miss anything because you're still gonna get it. So how you guys doing?
Us
Asking us in
or the chat?
Everyone.
Everyone, I'm
I'm-
tired and boiling hot.
I'm doing great. I'm having a good day.
Yeah.
Yep.
It went a lot
Because we're
better
doing
today than
Permadeath
it did
finally. It was
yesterday.
supposed to happen yesterday, but
Yeah, lots of stuff went wrong yesterday. So.
Yeah.
we
Yesterday
did the
was.
Splatoon stream instead.
Yesterday
So
was
I
a
wasn't
mess.
too bad.
When does Splatfest start? Is that tonight?
Weekend?
Today, or-
Tomorrow? I don't know. Let me
Well.
quick Google while you vamp.
Team Dog. That's,
Team Pop.
Team Rock.
is that the
it's
name
been
of the
fu-
teams?
We've got Rock versus Pop. You've got Cats versus Dogs.
What the fuck?
Oh,
So wait,
man,
is
the
it-
Japanese started it on the 13th, and their battle
Yeah.
was rice or bread.
Oh, so it's different for every region.
Yeah,
Like what
America's
is?
starts tomorrow from 6 a.m. Pacific, and it's cats versus dogs. And Europe is the 27th.
Why do we get cats versus dogs and everyone else gets cool shit?
I wouldn't call pop
I-
or rock
I mean-
cool. I
Well,
prefer
yeah.
rice or bread.
So
Well,
we
yeah,
don't
it's-
get ours until next weekend.
Yeah.
Cats
You're
versus dogs.
joking. I'm not around next weekend. I'm in a woodland all weekend.
Look at that. It's the year of
real
exclusivity.
life Splatfest.
You guys gotta wait.
Are the audio levels alright? No one's actually said anything, so I'm assuming they're...
No, I'm not sure. Every now and then, though, I do notice a weird little flicker on.
Yes, on your Skype thing. It seems to
Yeah.
happen for everyone, so don't worry.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
So hi to everyone in chat. There's
Hello.
apparently 9 of you.
Yeah.
I might be one of them actually. So
How do you know how many there are?
it says
It
9.
says it.
Where?
Kinda, man.
Where it usually says the views, it says 9 watching now.
Oh, I can't see that.
Well, boo-hoo.
I guess I'll tweet
E3,
myself.
It was a long couple of days.
It was.
I've been,
Yeah.
Kinross, you're
Yeah.
a bit low.
I've been napping like
I
nobody's business.
I can say this. I watch E3 every year, and
Do you watch it live?
You know,
or...
yeah, I'm usually able to find the time to watch it live every year, in some capacity. Whether I only get to watch one or two of the conferences or all of them, like this year. Well, I didn't get to watch all of them on day 2, or day 1 or day 0, whatever the fuck they labeled the days for E3. It's like the first day is like day 0, but it's like hey, it's really day 1. Fuck, stop
Yeah.
fooling yourselves. I know that. I guess day 1 is when the show floor opens, but only thing anyone cares about are the press conferences. So I mean.
Basically, Bill missed Squeenix and Nintendo.
Yeah.
You didn't honestly miss that much, in my opinion.
He missed
but-
Animal
That's-
Crossing U.
Well, that's why, like, when I was disappointed because, like, if they did announce Animal Crossing U, like, I wanted to be there for it because I had my prediction in Skype chat for it, and I'm so mad they didn't see my Skype message and use it and make the game really quick before the presentation because I think it was a brilliant idea. I mean, maybe the Mii's wouldn't fit right into the Animal Crossing villages, but Animal Crossing U, Y-O-U, is the play on words there, and you import your Mii as the villager instead. Come on, Nintendo, what the fuck? Anyway.
No.
Anyway. They did get the word "me" in their title though. Amiibo Festival. What's it called? Let's all dance to the Amiibos. What's it called?
Amiibo Party Festival or something like that.
Yeah.
Sure.
So yeah, I miss those ones, but I usually do watch them every year. But I will say this year, I will probably never want to sit through them again straight like I did this year.
I think the problem this year was there were so many of them. There were so many conferences,
I mean, it's only
and some
two
of
more
them
than
were
usual.
not. No, there was way more than usual because we usually only get EA, Microsoft, Ubisoft. Hold on, EA, Ubisoft, Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo. But then on top of that, we had Bethesda. We had the PC gaming show, and we had Squeenix.
Except we didn't watch the PC one, so it was only two more than a normal year.
I suppose, but
Well,
I don't know. Like Squeenix
way-
went on for way too long.
Yes, it did. Yes,
Either
it
way,
did.
compared
so
to
so did EA.
compared to a normal year, I don't usually sit through them in a marathon session like that.
You
I
don't
think
know
next year, if we do the live streams, I think we should only do the three. Like we
Yeah.
should do Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo.
100%, 100%.
At the
Because you
very
see the same games anyway.
At the very
You know?
least, not EA.
Very
We don't
true.
want-
Well,
27
see,
minutes of sports.
the thing about next year is we're gonna actually get Mass Effect, presumably, like actual reveal of
No.
Mass Effect, presumably.
It was revealed. That's what you're gonna get till next holiday.
Well, the reveal of Mass Effect to me, when you reveal a game, I mean, when you announcing a game or I would consider this. I mean, we already knew it was coming, but I would consider it its full announcement is now finished. They gave us the title, but when you reveal a game, I expect to like know about it. You know what I mean? Like you're revealing this game to me instead of just showing me CG and then like saying, "Well, that's what the game's gonna look like." No, it's not. One, and then you don't even show me anything about it. It's been like 3 years, I think, since we've known Mass Effect 4 was coming. Still don't know shit about it aside from a questionable leak from a survey. Like, what the fuck, man? What is it?
Set in Utah.
Before we go any further, though, I need to thank Andy for letting me go to his house to watch E3 because my computer can't do video right now. So thank you.
Oh yes.
I'd like to thank Andy for breaking the stream on no less than 2 occasions.
I would like to thank Andy for coming on and being a guest as well.
He's not here now.
Yeah.
But he is in
Yeah.
chat.
Yeah.
You can't break anything now, Andy.
He'll find a way. He'll come into this call and just like join, and then it'll ruin all the framing for everything, and then it'll leave.
Yeah, he will.
I will say, this year I've noticed something, and I'm a little bit fatigued on it. And it's perfectly fair to feel this way, especially considering a lot of developers and publishers tend to burn people on games not turning out the way that they're advertised. But this year in particular, I don't know if it's because I've been paying attention more to the pulse of social media or maybe just the pulse of like people's videos on YouTube, but like, man, the cynicism this year is like way fucking high. There was a complaint, and I'll name the YouTuber because he's big enough that it doesn't matter. He's not gonna the Super Bunny Hop or whatever. He's made a video about E3, like lies and whatever, the story of E3 2015, and he had a complaint about the Pip-Boy edition of Fallout 4 and how this is a bullshit exploitive thing or whatever. The Pip-Boy thing is a cheap plastic, and you wouldn't even wear it out of the house. Well, no, fuck, you're not gonna wear it out of the house.
I will say
you don't wear anything like that. You don't wear your statue out of the house either. It's a fucking collector's item. What the fuck?
It isn't
Oh God.
the highest quality build thing, but yeah, it is. It is, as he said, a gimmick.
Yeah, Tyler even admitted it, and like, it's a cool thing, you know.
It's a collector's item. It's gonna go on top
Yeah.
of my Delph, and it's gonna be great. And I really can't wait for it.
It's not something you'd wear out of the house. Yeah, well, if you're going to Five Guys wearing your Pip-Boy, I think you've got another fucking
You
problem.
know what? I'm gonna
You know
buy.
what? I
I'm
might-
gonna
I
buy
might
another
buy
one.
one.
I'm gonna.
Yeah,
gonna
I might
walk
buy
around
one
with it
just to wear outside.
Wear two.
Yeah.
And when I've got to answer work calls, I'll be like, "Hello."
Yeah, if you can't
I'm
hear
on
me
my
too
Pip-Boy.
well, I'm on my Pip-Boy. So you're breaking up. This is 22, 25 tech. Yeah, so that was seeing that kind of shit kind of bro. I mean, like, because obviously you don't want to get your hopes up too much for games. We've seen it with Watch Dogs. We've seen it. I mean, a lot of people were up in a tizzy over the Witcher 3's downgrade or whatever. You know, you see it
I mean,
happen a
it's
lot where people
completely
get burned. But like at the same time, it's okay. Like this is the one week where like all kinds of shit's being announced. You know what I mean? Like, and you see it with the Shenmue announcement. You see it with the Final Fantasy VII remake announcement, where like everyone's so genuinely excited, and they get to be happy about like new stuff. Here, they're not right around the corner, and they're till 2 years away and whatnot. But like it's the one time where everybody is sitting here watching this one thing, and when waiting for stuff they like to be announced, and then you just have like I love Giant Bomb, but they're so fucking cynical. And you know what I mean? Like this, like who could be the biggest cynic? Who can make the snarkiest thing on Twitter? And I'm okay with snark. That's totally fine. But like people try to outdo each other, and it's like get to the point where it's like, okay, man, I just love games. You know, like damn.
Know, if you want to know what happiness sounds like, I can tell the audience. Sounds a lot like this. And if you missed that, there you go. That's the sound of happiness.
Did anything actually play?
Yeah, I played it in Audacity. It should have gone over the stream.
Okay. What was it?
It was you going,
oh, is that my Shenmue?
Yeah, your Shenmue screen.
Like this year we had. I mean, we'll get into the details more when we talk about the conferences. But like this year we had like the Final Fantasy VII remake announcement, Last Guardian, and Shenmue. Like shit, people. Those are joke predictions every year. People got to lose their shit and be so happy, and then like you'll see what Shenmue 2's a fucking Kickstarter. Just relax, man. Shenmue 3's happening.
The only thing that would have made it more absurd would have been if Valve had just like jumped down in the middle of the PC conference and been like, Half-Life 3 next week.
No, it would have been great if when they'd lifted that car onto the stage during during the Microsoft thing, Gabe Newell just got out and went Half-Life 3 and then got back in and flew away in the car.
Oh yeah, that would have been great. Yeah, that would have made this probably the biggest E3 in like over a decade, probably, if Half-Life 3 was announced at the same show.
I'd like to point out most of it was at Sony's conference as well. So Sony clearly just went, right, we got the install base now.
Yeah.
Now we're going to sell them some games.
The one thing people are understandably disappointed with is a lot of Sony's announcements are for like 2016, 2017. Now they did say that before E3 that like 2015's kind of what the hell, they used a word for it, a harvest period for PS4 or something like that. And then they hit everybody in 2016 and 2017 with their games. They even mentioned that they acknowledged the fact that this fall wasn't going to have as many PS4 exclusives. And after they announced everything, people were still like, well, where the fuck are the games for this fall? Well, they said it. I mean, earlier, it's a harvest year. Whatever the fuck that means. Well, whatever.
Do you mean fallow year or something?
Yeah, well, that's their terminology. They said harvest year. So blame Shuei Yoshida for that one.
I saw a lot of people on Reddit getting pissy with Nintendo for not talking about Zelda U.
For fuck's sake, they said they weren't going to do that like 4 months ago. Yeah. Oh, why didn't they talk about the NX? They said they were only going to talk about this fucking financial year. Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It wouldn't make sense for them to talk about the NX this year anyway, because they still have titles they want to sell for the Wii U that... I mean, because if I
want to...
Go ahead.
Sorry. I just want to say, I'm fed up of people saying, oh... They said that Zelda Wii U is going to come out on the Wii U, but now it's definitely coming out on the NX because they didn't say anything about it about E3. I'm sort of done with that. I don't want people to say that anymore because it's really, really annoying.
I don't believe Zelda will be on NX. I don't believe it. I believe them when they say it's a Wii U title, a Wii U title only. Because we don't even know what this NX platform is really going to be. If it's an integration between handheld and console, like it's been rumored to be. I mean, they'll save it. That'll be Wii U's last hurrah before the NX.
Which is a shame because I really like my Wii U, but I've got a good collection of games that I feel like it was still a worthwhile purchase. But...
Oh, absolutely.
And the games aren't gonna necessarily die off the moment that the NX shows up, whatever it is. Splatoon's going to keep going for as long as the servers are running.
Yep, well, Splatoon will keep going until Splatoon 2, most likely, if the fan base is strong enough, as it clearly indicates. But anyway, we should start talking about the conferences.
We do have a vague plan. It's not like
normal.
So who are we starting off with?
Should we go in order of most disappointing? Start from the weakest and go up? Or start from the best and go down?
Oh, we might as well just build up to a grand finale for wrapping up.
Microsoft.
Are we talking about most disappointing with the big three here?
Yeah.
Or
well, would you say that Microsoft or Nintendo was more disappointing?
Microsoft for me.
Yeah, I mean Microsoft for me primarily because I don't own an Xbox One and I can't play those games. So I mean like I'd like to play Cuphead, and I'd like to be able to utilize the backwards compatibility, but I mean like I don't own that platform. So for me, maybe not the weakest necessarily, but I'd at least interest in it because I don't own an Xbox. So we'll talk about that first. Might as well. Yeah. It was the first of the big three to go, so.
I'm really sad about Tomb Raider being a timed exclusive because I want to play that real soon.
Well,
still kind of bitter about that. They announced that last E3 though.
If it's a timed exclusive, it means that the Xbox One users are technically beta testers, and so they could technically figure out all the bugs.
Well, the one benefit of that, that and if they release any DLC in the time frame between the Xbox One's release and the PS4's release, we'll be sure to, or any other platform for that matter, PC and PS4, we'll be sure to hopefully get that bundled into the game, maybe.
And you'll also know whether, if it's not bundled in, you'll know whether a certain piece of DLC is worth picking up.
Yeah. But the timed exclusivity is kind of shit, though, especially on a franchise that was on every platform except for Nintendo stuff. You know what I mean? And it was a big hit on all of them. And then, but Microsoft's got the bucks, so, that's what matters.
I do think the new Tomb Raider looks really good, though. I do think I want to play the new Tomb Raider, but I don't have an Xbox One, so guess I'm waiting for that.
I think that it's better to wait.
I mean, I probably would have waited anyway.
Yeah, I mean, the way that last year went, getting things as soon as possible is not the best thing.
Well, and especially in your case, Abby, because I think Fallout 4 and Rise of the Tomb Raider come out on the same day.
Yes, they do.
So
I can't wait to talk about Fallout 4. They actually talked about Fallout 4 in this conference, but I'm not going to talk about Fallout 4 until we talk about Bethesda. So, or as Andy says, Bethesda.
So they showed more Halo stuff at Microsoft.
Yeah.
I missed the Halo stuff. I was late to that conference, and I didn't bother to look it up because I'm just burnt out on any kind of anything with Master Chief. I just look at it and I go.
I was watching it and I missed most of the stuff. I couldn't quite tell what was going on. It looked like there was some more, the campaign, I guess, had more AI following you that shouldn't just randomly kill itself because they're named characters and things. But I think that they were focusing on the Spartan Locke stuff rather than the Master Chief. So
I mean, I like to play Halo 5. I mean, it's just one of those instances where I try not to get too hyped up for a game that I don't own the platform for. Especially when I don't think it's necessarily worth it to spend $400 to play Halo. But I like to play it. But I've been kind of purposely distancing myself from Halo 5. I mean, especially after Halo 4, which I didn't really care for, and that kind of put me off from Halo 5 as well. But I've been kind of purposely distancing myself from it because I'm I can't play it. And I really don't have any plans of buying an Xbox One unless something crazy gets announced, some crazy game that, holy fuck. If Shenmue 3 was an Xbox One game, exclusive, because that's what it was. Shenmue 2 in the US was an Xbox original game. I would shell it out and I would buy the Xbox One for that, but
so you wouldn't buy an Xbox One for the robot dog with the glowing heart?
No.
No?
I thought that game...
You wouldn't buy it for the pirates?
Rare's new game, what is that? What was that? Sea of Thieves?
Sea of Thieves, yeah.
What the hell is that, anyway?
It looks like an MMO pirate
game.
Console game.
That's what I was wondering.
Sort of Destiny pirate game is what I thought, but...
Yeah, I was wondering as I was watching it, is it a full-blown MMO, or is it a server-based game like DayZ or H1Z1 or Ark or whatever, where there's 64 players on a server and everybody has to be pirates and do pirate shit. And...
I have no idea. I think Rare have never made a game that looked less like a Rare game before. If it hadn't been said, this is Rare's new game, I would have been so who made this?
Yeah, they're definitely a different studio now, and it's kind of funny when they're teasing up this new Rare announcement and a new Rare IP or a continuation of. There's a lot of Rare teasing coming up to E3, and everyone thought it was gonna be Banjo 3 or something. Which, first of all, don't call it that if you did make another Banjo game. It just does not roll off the tongue at all.
Banjo 3.
Banjo 3.
I do like the rare replay thing that they're doing though, where you can buy their entire back catalogue.
That is
like
an
$30 or whatever it is.
Awesome collection, yeah.
On a related note, whilst I remember it, I get the impression that we all thought the backwards compatibility was like everything can work the moment that it releases.
That's not true.
That's not true. It's like 22 games to start with, and then within a few months it'll up to a couple of hundred, and then
it's kind of like the way they did it on 360.
Yeah.
With Xbox. Well, I can't say Xbox One because it's not
the original Xbox.
OG Xbox, yeah, just the Xbox. Yeah. So like not every game was backwards compatible on 360, and they released updates that enabled more and more and this and that, and so that's the same way here. But I assume that they're gonna really keep up on it. They made a big deal out of it, and it is a big consumer-friendly feature. I mean, like, it isn't necessarily like like a giant killer app or anything like that, but I think it's something that I wish Sony would have considered. I mean, I don't know if it's even possible inside of their console or whatever, but it's a when people are thinking about making the jump from 360 to Xbox One. Like, oh, I don't want to abandon all my old games, or let's say I have to sell. It's nice, like a comforting thing when you're making that investment. Like, oh, I can play. Obviously not all of them from the start, but I can play my old games on here, and that's comforting to know. And I kind of wish I can pop Yakuza 5, or if Yakuza 5 is coming out digitally on PS3. I meant Yakuza 4 into my PS4 and play it because I don't really have access to my PS3, and I'd like to beat that fucking game.
I read a thing where Sony was incredibly surprised that Microsoft said that they were going to do it. And that PlayStation weren't planning on it at the moment because of the way that the PS3 used its weird CPUs or cores or whatever.
Yeah, their cell processors or whatever the fuck.
So it's a bit of a shambles to try and emulate, but they're not saying outright they'll never do it, but it'll be a long time if they choose to. So
it'd be nice. It'd be nice if
weird that one of the biggest announcements from Xbox was the one that everyone's talking about anyway. Was oh man, I can play my 360 games again.
Yeah. All right, finally. Yeah. I'm waiting for something to play. That's not totally fair though. There's been some good stuff coming out recently. But it's funny though. It is totally funny. Like people are hyped out about playing their old games again. But it is nice for those people who probably got rid of their 360s and kept some of their old games. If they really need to play Mass Effect again, they can, I guess.
Yep, get ready for that holiday season of 2016. You can play Gears of War as well, because Gears of War is coming out at that same time. So,
or alternatively, they could play the Gears of War Ultimate Edition, which was announced.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Was it? I thought it was just Gears 4.
No, there was a remake of Gears 1 to 3.
Yeah, so that was a good segue. Gears of War Ultimate Edition that was announced at the Microsoft conference, as well as
I don't have anything to say about it because I'm just like I kind of played Gears a bit, didn't really like it.
Yeah, Gears is one of those franchises for me that I appreciate what they did with the multiplayer because it stuck with a lot of people for a while, and it was a mainstay for a lot of 360 players. I can never get into it. It was way too hard for me to play that online. I sucked so much ass. People wrecked me. The only thing that brought me to finish the first game and then half of the second game was the co-op. And then the second game I bought, my co-op partner just kind of stopped playing it. So I never beat Gears 2, and I never saw Marcus Phoenix's tragic tale to the end. So, sorry, Marcus.
I bet you know what happens, though, because I know what happens, and I haven't even looked for spoilers. So.
All I know about Mass Effect Gears of War is that there's some bad transition between saying we need to be on a train and then them being on a train all of a sudden, and there's a bomb in the first game.
Excellent.
That's all I know. I'm just looking through this list.
The only other thing that got announced that I was sort of interested in was Recore, which we sort of touched upon, but didn't really say anything more about it. I want to see gameplay before I even remotely get excited about that, though, because it was just a CGI trailer.
Based on the CGI trailer, I am interested in the idea of sticking glowing orbs into robots.
The one thing that I mean it's Keiji Inafune, so he usually doesn't make bad games. Soul Sacrifice is good. People like the Mega Man games apparently, and Mighty Number 9 is the thing people are looking forward to. So.
I did think it was weird that they introduced that game with from the creators, not the creators, but from the makers of Metroid Prime, and it wasn't even anything to do with Nintendo. And I was like, Microsoft, can you stop buying the people who make games for Nintendo, please?
We'll sell our game with their game. Motherfucker.
But that was pretty much it for me from nothing that made me want to go, shit, man, I got to get an Xbox One apart from a bunch of N64 games. So.
Yeah. The best things for me from Microsoft conference, I thought the HoloLens presentation was neat, but I don't know how much of that is bullshit or not.
It did look cool. It did look really cool.
It did look really cool.
But it's impossible to know whether what we see is what he sees or whether it's just them doing some trickery to the camera.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, like, obviously there's probably some make-believe involved in there, but I mean, like, if the finished product is anywhere close to that, that's really neat. And like, I think someone mentioned, one of us mentioned, I might have been Andy, about sports games with that, like having the field on your table or whatever and playing the game. That would be fucking cool. Like, that would be really neat. And I don't really know about how much fun it would be to really keep playing Minecraft that way, by like playing God and just like throwing TNT at your friend. I mean,
I think that's such a cheaty way to play Minecraft, where you like pull it up out the earth and just push the earth back so you can just look for diamonds. Like,
but it was neat. The tech is neat if it really works that way. I mean, there's no way for us to really know. Same with like any kind of VR. I mean, everyone always says how awesome VR is. And you have to really experience it to believe it, but I have no way to experience it from my chair here. So I just have to take people's word for it, or take the presentation's words for it, and just assume that it really is as great as people say. But yeah,
Pika's pretty right. Cuphead was probably the best looking game there.
I was going to mention that Cuphead looked fucking awesome.
About Cuphead. I kind of wish it wasn't an exclusive, though, because it's not worth buying a console for, but I'd still kind of like to play it.
Yeah.
At the minute, I can't see myself ever getting an Xbox One unless it's got a massive price drop towards the end of its life cycle.
I guess when I would probably buy one as well, towards the end, when, you know what I mean, it's dropped down $100 or so, and, you know, it's on the holiday bundle or something, and it comes with a bunch of great games, and they announced Garden Warfare 2 at the Microsoft conference.
Oh, yeah, they did. I can reveal that because there's the zombie.
Highway to
by using Danger Zone. I'm very excited for that game. I people were very skeptical of the first one. You know, it's just a weird, cheap, odd cash grab, third-person shooter version of Plants vs. Zombie, but they made a really good game, and they should be proud of that game, and they supported it really well with free DLC, and they're promising to support this one with free DLC. This one looks great. The first one was great. I mean, it's just more Garden Warfare, and I'm excited for it, because I loved the first one.
The orange looked to be the best character.
The orange was awesome. It looked like a jellyfish.
It was amazing. But I need to play more of the first one.
I haven't played the first one, and if it's one of those things where I have to either use it through Origin or use it through an Xbox One, I don't.
You can use it through a PS4.
I don't want to. Like,
PS4.
Is it actually coming out on PS4?
Yeah.
I assume it is. The first one did.
Yep, they announced.
If I get a PS4, because Sony might have sold me on PS4.
They showed the box art for the PS4 edition.
I might be interested. We'll see.
Yeah.
They also revealed the trailer for Dark Souls 3, which we all knew coming because that leaked as well.
I'm fed up of fucking leaks. Like, I swear, because of leaks, nothing was really a surprise.
Yeah, except for Shenmue and Final Fantasy and The Last Guardian.
Except you weren't surprised by that because you were like, it leaked from official sources. Oh.
Which one?
Final Fantasy, Shenmue, and The Last Guardian.
Well, Shenmue wasn't necessarily leaked. It was more teased by Yu Suzuki. He tweeted a picture of a forklift, and everybody took that and like conspiracy theoried it to hell and back. And then there were some other weird things where like, oh look, the director of third-party relations followed Yu Suzuki on Twitter. We're getting Shenmue. And it was so like, oh, this happens every year kind of deal. And then when they actually announced it, people were like, holy fuck, they actually did it. But Last Guardian was rumored to be there, so technically they leaked in a way, like word leaked. No, they're like Dark Souls 3, the fucking logo leaked, the fucking like stills leaked, the screenshots leaked. Like, where's this shit coming from? Like, who got this? People got to learn their lesson. Like
Can
HBO.
you please hire people and make them sign NDAs so it doesn't spoil E3 for everyone, please?
HBO learned their lesson with the beginning of the season of Game of Thrones. The first 4 episodes leaked because they just, let's just trust these random fucking press guys with our shit. They definitely won't leak it at all. They have nothing to lose, and they really don't have anything to lose because there's really no way to tell unless they watermark it to each individual publication. So like people get pressers and shit for stuff, and like, look what happens.
Watermarks.
Yeah, yeah, even that.
Not that I watched those episodes, but there was a blurred out watermark.
So yeah, so I mean, like, yeah, people just gotta be this, just fucking A, man. Like, it's that hard to keep shit like secret.
So.
I guess.
Yeah, this happened before Fallout as well. Like an hour before the timer went down, someone had cracked the code on the website and found like the teaser image. An hour before they were officially going to announce Fallout 4. That made me really sad. I was really happy to see the picture, but at the same time, I was like, it's an hour away. Like, you could have waited. That would have been fine. Like, I don't know.
It's a bummer. Leaks are a bummer. But Dark Souls 3 is happening. It's directed by Miyazaki, the man everyone loves. Directed Bloodborne, Dark Souls 1, and Demon Souls. Everyone shits on the Dark Souls 2 team. Didn't play Dark Souls 2. Can't comment on it, but I'm sure people are going to be shitty people and just bitch about it for no reason. But it's being directed by Miyazaki, which is crazy because when the hell did he direct this fucking game? It's clearly been in development.
Probably between Totoro and Ponyo. I'm going to keep making that joke.
Yeah, the last name Miyazaki is like, there's no way to not think that when you hear it. So yeah, that's happening, as well as Bloodborne DLC. So like that man,
I didn't see that anywhere.
They didn't announce it at PS4. They announced it like a month before PS4. Shuei Yoshida said we're making a Bloodborne DLC expansion pack. Please look forward to it. And then after E3, one of the From Software devs tweeted about, "Oh, I'm getting to work with Hidetaka Miyazaki on Bloodborne DLC." It's like, well, hey, he's directing Dark Souls 2. Man, this man is spread thin. So I'm looking forward to seeing what is going to happen here, because then people are hearing that Dark Souls 3 is going to be the last Dark Souls game, and then they say it's not going to be the last Dark Souls game, and then it's like, well, do what you got to do. But Dark Souls 3 is happening, so that's cool. I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with that. I mentioned it on the live stream, but I'm interested to see if they're going to adapt any of Bloodborne's combat mechanics into Dark Souls. So anyway, anything else
from Microsoft?
Microsoft?
Not really. They released that stupidly expensive controller where you can remap buttons and switch stuff out.
Yeah, it's like $130 or something, isn't it?
Well, that's the price you got to pay if you want to be elite.
I want to know whether, like, if it is what they say it is, whether it means then that people playing online Halo, Call of Duty and things, the people with that controller are actually now at a distinct advantage.
I'm not sure.
Or because if they're not at an advantage, it means that it's a waste of money. If they are at an advantage, it means that you've got to spend 130 quid to be on the same level as someone with a couple of paddles.
I don't think it'll necessarily provide an advantage necessarily over someone using standard controls. Only because people have been using standard controls for so long. Like, I don't know what else they could possibly do to increase the skill threshold. But I do know, I think it might be just paying a premium price for being able to kind of map it around your comfort levels, like where you want a certain button, because you couldn't move shit around and put a button here and a button there. It might just be like, hey, $130 and you could fucking do whatever the hell you want with this thing. You want a trigger down there by your pinky finger? Go ahead. You want the controller to just have no buttons? Fucking go ahead.
It's like Build-A-Bear, but for Xbox controllers.
I mean, it's pricey. I have seen people who are interested in it and like who like that kind of remapability of buttons and all that stuff, and might be easier maybe for disabilities. You know, if your fingers maybe your fingers broke and you can't hit the trigger, you want to move it
now
down.
You got to pay $150 to play your games.
Boom.
Isn't life fair?
But anyway, yeah. As I was watching the trailer for the controller, I'm like, oh, hey,
that's someone's porn.
Yeah. So, baby, 8 buttons moved. But yeah, Microsoft.
Move on to Nintendo.
Yeah.
Nintendo. Bah, bah. That's the beginning of Animal Crossing for GameCube.
Nintendo announced a surprisingly large amount of stuff based on.
But the thing is,
none of it was like
one of the things that I was interested in, like, was the only surprise from the conference, like the co-op Zelda game Triforce Heroes.
Yeah.
I'm interested in that, and that I didn't see coming, which is going to be a nice thing to sort of like tide us over until Wii U Zelda. And the biggest thing for me, obviously, should have been Star Fox Zero.
But you missed it.
I did miss it, but I went back and watched it later, and I didn't miss too much of it. I missed like 30 seconds of it. We weren't in the stream when it was on all of the time. But I am gonna buy the game, but a lot of people have said that it's not very good. Like the people who are at E3 who have play tested it. They said it just handles really badly, like the dual screens don't really work, the motion controls don't really work, which you can turn off. And
so if one of their big issues is something you can turn off, it might not actually be that big an issue.
It's made me really, really concerned, though. Like, because I'm a really big Star Fox fan. Everyone knows this. And the last game that came out was Star Fox Command, which had a lot of gimmicks in it because it was a 3DS game. No, it wasn't. It was a DS game. Mm-hmm. So, like, to control where your R-wing went, you'd have to do this on the touch screen, and it really sucked. Like, it really, really sucked. And I didn't like Command at all. And I obviously am still really looking forward to Star Fox because it's been so long, and I feel like maybe a reboot is what the series needed, because by the point that they'd done Command, they had endings for all of the characters. Like Fox and Crystal got married, Slippy got married to this other pink toad, she was called Amanda, Peppy retired, you know, like the whole cast of characters were very, very spread apart. Like in all of the endings, like they were either happy ending or turned the R-Wings into F-Zero races and started being F-Zero people. So I think a reboot is probably the best thing for the series, but at the same time I'm super disappointed because that means they basically in a way retconned my favourite character from the series, which was Crystal. So kind of sad about that.
They could have retconned it and still kept they might just be hiding it. I don't know. It depends on
if she ends up being in the game. But they showed off. They haven't showed off Starwolf in particular, but they have shown off Pygmadengar, who's one of the Starwolf characters. Mm-hmm. So I'm interested to see if they go with having Andrew Akeney and. Sorry, I'm going super Star Fox here. Andrew Akeney still on Starwolf rather than replacing him with Panther. I'm very interested in that sort of stuff. I'm really excited about it, even though everyone has said it's not very good so far, but I will play it for myself, I will find out, and hopefully it doesn't suck.
Fingers crossed. Hopefully all these games don't suck.
That would be nice.
That would be ideal. That nothing that was talked about ever sucked.
Yeah. Nice.
So, another thing that I was excited about as well was Hyrule Warriors for 3DS.
That's really neat. That leaked as well.
Yep, that leaked. I didn't realise it was a leak when I tweeted it out, but then the video went private and I was like, oh, I guess I wasn't supposed to see that.
Yeah. Then there was a mirror. Yeah, there was a mirror up immediately.
They didn't make a very big deal about it.
I'm really impressed. Since it's not a new Nintendo 3DS exclusive, the way they've got it to look, like even like on the just on the 3DS, like
way.
Oh yeah, and
sort of
yeah.
I did notice
it down and outlined everything.
In the trailer, you were able to switch between characters on the battlefield, which you can't do in Hyrule Warriors. You like pick your character, and then you have to use that character for the entire thing. That's really neat. I like that a lot.
They went the Samurai Warriors route there, which is awesome. That'll be really fun.
But they didn't really do a great job of explaining what Hyrule Warriors All Stars is, or whatever it's called. It's called Legends, isn't it? It's called All Stars
Legends.
Well,
it's exactly the same as the Wii U one, except a bit different. And with characters that aren't on the Wii U one.
What's different?
New characters, Wind Waker's story.
I do believe.
So there is more story.
Yeah, I do believe the Wii U one is getting that stuff too, though. I think.
I haven't seen anyone confirm it. I've seen people saying, "Oh, it's likely that it'll show up," but I've not seen. There was like
a leaked image or whatever that showed at the end of something. It showed like Wii U something, and it showed what's the Wind Waker girl's name? Tetra. Petri dish, and it showed her like next to like a gamepad or something like that. So I don't know.
What that
was Japanese though. It was in Japanese.
That was saying specifically, if you buy the 3DS version, you can connect your 3DS to your Wii U to transfer the characters onto your game.
Oh, so you could get those characters.
You still have to buy.
The game.
Okay, so it's still
and potentially maybe a new 3DS, because I'm not sure that will run on an old 3DS.
I think it showed the box art of the just regular 3DS when they showed it. I
Really?
think on the Japanese one. Yeah, so people were asking like, "What's it for?" And the box art just showed regular 3DS with the regular logo, which
Right.
is why I was impressed when I saw the video. I was like, "Wow, that's not exclusive for the Nintendo 3DS." All right.
Well,
It does strike me as a little bit weird that because it comes out in February or something, so that's like 18 months after the Wii U one came out, and I
Yeah.
can't tell whether that seems like too long after a game comes out to have another version of it or too soon.
Well, it's Koei Tecmo. They release fucking they go balls out when it comes to releasing updated versions of their games on other platforms. Like Samurai Warriors 4 came out in Japan. A few months later, Samurai Warriors 4 2 came out. Dynasty Warriors 8 comes out. Dynasty Warriors 8 Extreme Legends comes out. And Dynasty Warriors 8 Extreme Legends Complete Edition comes out. They go fucking nuts. So yeah.
my hope is that they're doing this so they can be like, oh, people still really like Hyrule Warriors, so we should totally make
Yeah.
another one. That would be great. Add more characters. Do it
Great
all
game.
Wind Waker art style.
It's a great game. That'd be sweet.
Oh.
I think it'd be cool if they made the next one like each storyline adapts the art style from its particular game. That'd be a lot of work, but it'd be worth it
It'd
in
be
the
pretty
long
much
run
the best
for
game
its
ever.
quality. Yeah.
But by the way,
if
I'm
you work
definitely
with
going to buy
Nintendo,
that.
you can just like take like if you were to do a Mario one for whatever reason, then you
Mario
could just
Warriors.
take like the 3D world assets and just manipulate them.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you imagine like a Hyrule Warriors game with a storyline from A Link to the Past with the 2D like isometric look above the head
Oh,
and you're
dude.
hacking and slashing enemies who are 2D like that? Yo,
That'd be amazing.
come on.
You should
Come on,
work for
Nintendo.
Koei Tecmo, clearly.
But then if you got like a whole load of enemies right next to each other, they're gonna look like crap.
Well, yeah, it would obviously adapt to the game's
So you'd get
art
rid
style,
of the
but-
main like thing of the franchise by reducing the number of enemies.
well, I mean, it's still technically a Zelda game. They got rid of some of the Warrior signature stuff in Hyrule Warriors, and they added in more Zelda stuff like boss locking and all that stuff, and stuff that would kind of break other Warriors games. So, who knows?
I'm excited.
Maybe a side mode to play on the gamepad or something while you're waiting for the game to load. You can hack and slash stuff in 2D. Either way, I'd like to see something like that happen. That'd be neat.
I'm not going to pick it up straight away. For what it's worth. I'm going to wait.
It'll come with some like amazing pre-order bonus, and I'll be like, "Oh,
Yeah, it'll probably come with an amiibo.
yep, guess I'm doing that."
Probably be like a
Oh, can you imagine if they
King
did
of
like
Red
specifically really good Hyrule Warriors amiibos? Ugh. That would get rid of my problem with the
You know,
the
the
other
most
Link
popular
amiibo.
most popular one would be Lana. You know that, right? And they would just put it in your face.
No, the most popular one would be Sia because she's wearing the least clothes.
I doubt they'd make a Sia amiibo somehow. That's Virgin on adults only.
Yeah, I'm not going to pick it up straight away. I'm going to wait.
I am. Did we talk about Co-op Zelda enough to satisfy everybody? Because I don't really know that much about it apart from its Co-op Zelda.
I watched a bit of the treehouse of it, and it does look pretty interesting. Some people have been saying that it's online only, which doesn't make any sense to me because Nintendo's pretty big into their local co-op multiplayer stuff. Plus, they were demoing it at E3 with people sat next to each other, and there's no way that they were playing that over an internet connection at the conference hall.
I don't know.
So,
I don't know. I want to hear more about it, but I'm definitely interested because...
I will look forward to probably the next Direct or the one after that talks about it.
Yeah, this is the thing. Like, I think Nintendo's thing was kind of disappointing for me because there wasn't any big surprises, really. Because they constantly have these Directs where they're announcing stuff all the time, so it's like they have an E3 every 4 months or whatever.
That's the consensus is that there's two different types of people. There's the people who think that Nintendo should go all ham in announcing stuff at E3 because it's E3, and then there's the people that say, well, every couple of months they do their own mini E3 where they just announce stuff that you wouldn't expect, and it's great. So it doesn't have to be so amazing.
I think it just would have been nice for a real surprise that I was excited about. Like, the Animal Crossing game was a surprise, but I don't think I was happy about it. Like, I'm going to buy some amiibos probably if I can, but
I think the thing with them, people wanting them to announce stuff at E3, like going in and really like, here's some shit that you didn't expect. I mean, like they do the directs, but like everyone's watching E3. The people typically tuning in for the directs in like the month of April are like Nintendo fans. You know what I mean? I love Nintendo, but I typically don't watch the directs unless I notice something like on Reddit. Like I scroll through. Oh, this got announced. So I'll go check out the direct for it or whatever. But I mean, E3, like there's people watching the Nintendo thing that don't typically pay attention to Nintendo, and it'd be cool if they went all in one year and were like, hey, here's some shit, and this is why you should buy our console again.
I'd just like to say that Andy apparently looked at the press release and it says that there is local co-op for the Triforce Heroes. This is why it's great to have a chat, because they can fact check for us while we're talking absolute nonsense. It's like, actually, it does have local co-op. You fool. And I'll be like, oh, yeah. I'll take it back. It's my opinion of Andy. Can't sound middle class enough.
So, they didn't announce anything that was a massive surprise to me. But they also had a...
Mario and Luigi Paper Jam.
Oh, shit, yeah, Paper Jam. I forgot about Paper Jam. Yeah. But they had a Smash Bros. Mini Direct, like, a couple of days before.
Oh, yeah, during the, what was it called? The Championships or whatever.
Yeah. So now we have like Roy and Ryu and whatever in Smash Bros. And just before that, they had a mini direct as well where they announced like Chibi Robo and the amiibo for that and stuff.
That amiibo is adorable.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah.
I'm excited for two things from Nintendo.
I bet they're going to be the next two things on my list.
Is it Mario Tennis?
No.
Oh,
are you actually interested in Mario Tennis?
I love Mario Tennis.
I hear that
Mario
people
Tennis
love the Mario sports games.
I love Mario Tennis.
Strikers Charged and the 3DS Golf.
I loved golf on the 3DS. I loved tennis. I loved tennis on the 64, and I loved Power Tennis for the GameCube.
Never played Power Tennis. I always wanted to.
I obsessively played that game. I don't know why I did. I just would always go comfortable to play Power Tennis. So the fact that they announced that, I'm like, yeah, all right. I wish it had online multiplayer. I don't know if it does. It seemingly doesn't. But that would be another awesome game to bolster onto the Wii U's multiplayer lineup because it has a lot of fun ones.
If it was a budget title, then yeah, I'd totally be in for that. But if it's a full price thing, not so sure. Like, not 100% sold on that.
I'm not convinced that we're going to see many more £40 games. I think we're going to see more 35, 30s. With the exception maybe being Zelda. Star Fox might be pushing it towards the 40.
I kind of hope that Star Fox is 30 because Star Fox games are short. Star Fox games are just always consistently really short games, so... Anyway.
Someone mentioned something about this new one being like movie length or something like that.
That's how long a movie is.
Yeah, in Lord of the Rings.
14-hour movies.
So what's the other thing on your list that you're excited about then, Bill?
Super Mario Maker.
Yeah, wow, really? Okay.
I forgot that was
I misjudged you entirely.
I completely forgot because during Bill and I and Alan were in a CSGO stream, and he was going on about how amazing Mario Maker was. I just completely forgot about it.
Look, like, I'm so happy that they, like, leading up to, before we knew, because, like, Nintendo, they were never vague, but, like, you never mentioned full stop whether or not this was going to have, like, full online level sharing. I mean, you would assume so because that would be the major draw for the game. And why would you want to just like, hey, I made a level and I'm just going to let it sit here. So that was always the main draw, but it was always like, they didn't really say what, it would be like, is there like a, like a list, or is there like most, do you go and you just browse levels, or, and I'm so happy that they nailed, like, from what I'm seeing from the gameplay demonstrations and from the screenshots of the online lobbies, not lobbies necessarily, but what would you call it? What the fuck would you call the list of levels? List of levels?
Storefront, I guess.
Yeah. The list levels.
It's a free
the list.
Get it? It's like the lost levels, like.
No, I don't get it.
But yeah, like seeing all of that.
That was funny out there.
Yeah, somebody did. One of the 12 watching this were like, "This is the funniest podcast I've ever fucking watched." How did I end up? How did I get here? But seeing it all on display and like seeing the way that they're handling it, I'm like, that I mean, I was already interested in it because like the idea that Nintendo has its own version of Little Big Planet, but only it has tighter platforming, because one of the problems with Little Big Planet is the creation tools are fantastic, but the platforming has always been kind of floaty. There's no, like, it's a fun game, but like, you know what I mean? There's no satisfaction in the platforming. And Mario, I mean, it's tighter than Little Big Planet. And the fact that Nintendo has its own version of that on its hands, and it's using assets from a handful of Mario games, has me so excited. And seeing that you could browse the levels, and they made it so that one thing people were worried about is people would just be making like the death, like hell levels, where they'd be so fucking hard to beat, nobody could beat them. Nintendo put a thing in place where you have to beat the level once before you can post it online. So you can't make an impossible level, which is great. I mean, the difficulty of the level scales depending on how many people complete it in the world. So if you have a level where 10,000 people have attempted it and only like 50 people have beaten it, the difficulty is gonna spike really high. So they've made it. It's really great. I'm really excited for it. More excited than I was. I was always looking forward to it, but that game I think it's gonna sneak up on a lot of people as being something worth having in your Wii U library if you like playing 2D Mario games. If not,
I do.
Obviously,
but I don't know that I necessarily trust the community with it.
I'll
probably wait for a little while.
It'll be one of those games like Little Big Planet where like unless you're planning on creating levels, which I'm not. I never did in Little Big Planet. I don't have the patience for that. Little Big Planets, those kinds of games are fascinating to play because it's really fascinating to like sit back and like, wow, these people make really awesome and creative levels and really creative mechanics with the creation tools provided. And those games are usually always, if you're not planning on creating, they're always best to wait anyway. Like wait a month or two until, you know, a lot of people start getting shit rolled out. Because I remember when I bought Little Big Planet 2 on launch day, like it was kind of pointless. I mean, like there was a story mode, but like I bought Little Big Planet 2 because I loved playing everyone's levels in the first one. And then in the second one, I bought like, yeah, it's coming out. And then I sat down. I'm like, wait, why did I buy this today? There's gonna be no levels made like that are worth playing today, except for like, oh, I put Cloud Strife in my level. Like that'll be like that's the only like ah ha ha. And it's got like 5 hearts and like everyone's flipping out. Oh, you got Cloud Strife in his level. So they're always worth waiting a little bit for. But I'm excited for that, very much. Yeah.
There was that Metroid Prime game that everyone was.
I'm assuming every Metroid fan is just like, fuck you.
Yeah, they're not happy. They're not happy. I think that they have an issue with it with having the word Prime in it. They probably wouldn't mind. Like they seem to be saying, "Oh, this isn't a Prime game because it's chibi and co-op and cute."
Maybe it'll be the most fun thing ever, though. Like we don't know. But the other two things that I was excited about that I'm surprised that Bill didn't mention actually was Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem.
Looks
fantastic. That's because
fantastic.
Bill can't say Shin Megami Tensei.
The game looks fantastic.
Is that the one that people say it doesn't look like a Shin Megami Tensei game and it doesn't look like a Fire Emblem game?
Yes.
What the hell is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem. That's what it is.
That means it's coming out
Motherfucker.
this financial year, right? I don't remember if it had a date specifically.
So, is that...
I'll buy it. Like, I'm all for buying more JRPGs and stuff. Which reminds me, Xenoblade comes out the month after Fallout 4.
That's gonna be one fuck crazy of an end of the year. I will tell you that right now. I'm excited for that holiday season. Big games galore. I
might have to ask for Xenoblade for Christmas because I'm gonna
need the time.
I'm gonna need some time to not have Fallout 4. Although, no, we'll talk about that in a bit. Yeah. Where else? So Shin Megami Tensei looks good. Another thing that I forgot again. Oh no. I'll come back to it. Oh no, Xenoblade. That's what I was going to say. I'm excited that has a release date.
Does it?
Yeah. It comes out. December. I don't know if it's got a release date here actually.
Europe just December.
So December sometime. I'm happy with that.
December 4th.
And the other thing was Fire Emblem Fates.
Yes.
Yeah, they gave it a name.
Fire Emblem If.
I'm glad they didn't call it Fire Emblem If, but I don't know if they.
Dumbest name in the history of the land.
I don't know if they're bringing out both the versions. Yeah. There's two versions of that game, which is like
the easy
two different
one
story
and the
modes.
not easy one.
And they just said Fire Emblem Fates is coming out, and I don't know what that means. So, if someone knows in chat, please help. Send help. They even made a petition to tell the devs to cancel the development for that Metroid Prime game. That's horrific.
What was I going to say? The only other thing that might have caught people off is I think it was Mother 2 got a... or is it Mother 1?
Mother 1.
I think it was Mother 1.
Got a Wii U release called Earthbound Beginnings.
That's great and all. But where's Mother 3, like everyone has been asking for about 15 years now?
They give us an old one. Well, yeah, maybe. I mean, considering they're clearly...
actually shipping them.
Yeah.
That might actually make them win E3 next year, if they announce Mother 3, because everyone's...
they'll announce it in a direct.
Yeah, true.
No, maybe they'll wait. E3 next year, a launch title for the NX will be a new Mother game.
Oh, dude. How do you feel that if they announce the NX next year, you might not get Wii U Animal Crossing?
I'll fucking kill them. No, because I know it'll be an NX game, so that's fine. But I want to see it on my fucking Amiibo Festival.
Speaking of Amiibo, they've partnered up with Activision to make
Call of Duty Amiibos.
Not Call of Duty, the Skylanders Amiibo crossover things where you can twist
They
the base.
looked so bad. They
did look
like
bad,
shit.
and you can twist the base so that you can either play them in Skylanders games or in Nintendo games as amiibos.
Weird. I think they looked really bad.
They looked awful.
And those the first amiibos that you're just like, nah.
I think they are actually.
Which is funny because those are probably going to be the ones that you'll be most able to get.
Yeah.
Because they're Skylanders.
The Animal Crossing ones, there's a couple that I'm like, I'm not too fussed about those. Because I think there's 8 now that we've seen.
There was 8 Animal Crossing Amiibos?
Yeah, there's Isabelle, Nook, KK, Mabel or Sable.
Can I just point out that in the Wii U Animal Fest Amiibo one, KK Slider standing up, not holding his guitar in front of him, looks really fucking weird, and I don't like it. Like seriously, Bill, if you've not seen it,
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, you have to. It
you
looks
have
really
to go
weird.
and see it.
Oh, was it in the trailer?
Yeah.
There's the 2 llamas.
I'll look it up while you guys talk.
There's Digby and there's the pink otter.
Pink otter freaks me out. I don't like it.
Yeah, but so I'm gonna want to pick up Digby, Isabelle, Nook, and KK.
Why didn't they make Booker and Copper?
They probably will because there needs to be a Brewster one as well.
Dude, Brewster. There's so many characters that I want amiibos of, and they've picked really bad ones in my opinion. Like, I kind of get why they put Mabel in there, but Mabel's not exactly like an important character. What about Timmy and Tommy? Like,
well, they've already got Nook.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but Nook isn't.
Oh, they need Rossetti as well. He'd look amazing as an amiibo.
What the fuck? Where's the Rossetti amiibo? None of those amiibos matter anymore. Why the fuck didn't you make him? He's easily, next to Tom Nook and KK Slider, the most recognizable Animal Crossing side character. Isabelle's
only if you don't save your game.
There's so many people.
If you're someone like me who's always saved their game, you wouldn't know that Rossetti was a guy.
Do you know what's disappointing me watching this Amiibo Festival trailer?
That it's basically crappy Mario Party?
Is seeing these HD Animal Crossing and looking at it and going, well, that should be a fucking... Wow, look at KK standing there.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, I interrupted you, Kinross. I'm so sorry.
That's right. I was thinking, like,
look at him
He looks fucking weird, doesn't he?
One, everyone else is wearing clothes except KK Slider.
Well,
he's
KK's never worn clothes.
Buck naked and saying next to Isabelle, and Mabel or Abel is staring right at him. Like, put some fucking clothes on.
I make clothes. I can make you a suit.
Yeah,
have some cuttings.
That's the eye contact conversation was going on there. Like, what?
Don't you think he just looks fucking weird standing up with no guitar on?
When we finish this Amiibo Festival, we're gonna get you some threads. Anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
I think that's pretty much it. There was.
I'm curious. The Amiibo Party game though is a free game. You just have to buy the amiibos. But I'm wondering if you can use the amiibo cards with it, or if it's just the amiibos.
I really hope so, because if you have to just use the amiibos, then like
that free game is $60.
And even then, if you can't, maybe even more if the amiibos sell out really fast. Let's say like down the road, oh, I decide 4 months down the road, like, oh wait, I finally got a Wii U or whatever. Oh, I want to try Amiibo Festival, or let's all dance to the Amiibos, or what the fuck it's called. And I want to play this. I downloaded it. None of the Amiibos are in stock. I have to go to eBay. Okay, no problem. Oh, this guy's selling them for $50. Okay, a piece. Well, I ain't playing that game. So I think that they have to integrate some kind of card, like the Amiibo cards, into it.
Because then, like, the playable characters of that would expand, like, humongously.
Well, because if they
the way that they're selling those amiibos is like in booster packs. So you buy a booster pack and you just get random pulls out of it.
Ones.
Oh shit! I'd buy the shit out of those.
Yeah, I've already pre-ordered like 3 boxes. So
you'll have to tell me where to get those.
You know what's gonna be popular? You know what's gonna be popular? Is unpacking videos on YouTube.
Don't link it to me now. It'll break the stream.
Okay, I'll find the link so I'd remember.
Although, speaking of the cards, I saw the treehouse for Happy Home Designer or whatever it was. It actually looked pretty good. You're building up. It's not like you're just building a house. You're building up a village from scratch with people's houses. So there's like various plots where you can put people in. You like, you like places by the sea and you like music. Okay, we'll put you in this plot here, and I'll fill your house with pianos.
So it's like a sim. Like a city builder, Animal Crossing. Is that true?
Pretty much.
Yo, motherfucker! I want that now.
Yeah.
Guess what?
Nice.
Guess what?
They're out of stock.
Set 1 is out of stock. Set 2 is still in stock and available for pre-order.
Okay. They're not anymore now because of all these people in the stream.
Yeah, I'm ordering some right now. Sorry.
Is that Nintendo pretty much done?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah?
Yeah!
Okay, come down.
Did you guys watch the Nintendo World Championship at all?
No, I saw Cosmo. Cosmo's like
on at the time before Bethesda.
I was watching the split. I didn't watch all of it, but I watched maybe about a good hour of the Splatoon stuff. It was fun.
I heard that it was a bit rough to watch because of the kid commentator.
I love that kid. This is my example of people being so goddamn like just like dicks and like cynical about it. Like, okay, Nintendo, I'm not saying they're just a kid-centric company, but they make games for everyone that kids can play. It's obvious in Splatoon with, you know, I mean, they make it so that a kid can't go on there and get told to go lick a butt or something, you know what I mean, on voice chat. They make it kid-friendly. And there's this kid who is so excited to be on stage during this Splatoon championship. He's a little kid. And he's watching these kids play. Well, not kids. He's watching these grown adults play Splatoon and competing hardcore. And he's doing color commentary. And he's so excited to try to get words in that, like, you know, like I think it was Kevin Pereira hosting and some other guy. You know, they had a job to do, you know what I mean, like, and make sure the World Championship commentary flows with the game. And the kid was so excited to interject things, and the Twitch chat was like, get this fucking faggot kid off the stage. And I'm like, dude, man, he's so pumped. He's like spitting out Splatoon strategies. I'm like, well, that kid's got skills. That's a good strategy. He's yelling shit out.
I can't win at ranked mode.
It was, strats. That little bastard's kicking your ass. That's what. I loved it though. I loved his enthusiasm, his kiddish enthusiasm on stage. I had a lot of fun watching him. People, I mean, it's a Nintendo. Like I'm not gonna say esport, but it's a Nintendo esport event. It's obviously not gonna, you know, have 2 guys in suits taking it way too fucking seriously while a bunch of people play a game. It has a bunch of enthusiastic guys and kids all commentating over Splatoon, being excited over Splatoon, and that's the only part of it I watched. But I had a lot of fun watching it. Splatoon's surprisingly very fun to watch. 2 good teams play each other. So
there we go. We're gonna go MLG with it.
Hell yeah!
It's gonna happen.
We're gonna be playing the next Nintendo World Championship.
So I guess we've got Sony, which was a bit of a letdown for
everyone, really. Before we move on, I would like to point out that I now have 6 boxes of Animal Crossing Amiibo booster packs on order.
It's coming.
How much are they?
1,620 yen each. So you get 5 packs of cards, and there's 3 cards per pack.
So it's 15 amiibos for $16.
Yep. But you could get doubles, which is not something...
You can sell doubles.
That's true.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So Nintendo.
No.
Nintendo, you could have done better, but I'm happy that you finally showed me Star Fox. So thank you.
Super Mario Maker.
Yeah.
So up next is Sony.
Yeah. Whole lot of nothing, really.
Yeah, just a whole pile of shit this conference was.
Yeah, the Assassin's Creed Syndicate. They showed a bit of Disney Infinity 3.0.
Yo, this is the thing that I want to talk about. Assassin's Creed Syndicate usually has, like, a trailer, like a... What would you call it? Cinematic trailer, and then they have gameplay at one conference and the other. And they just didn't have any gameplay trailers this time.
Nope.
Thanks. That doesn't tell me
a fucking
thing about the game.
Awful English accents, though.
You know, they gotta use... Okay, now I'm not like... I haven't played all the Assassin's Creed games. I've been playing Unity. And that game takes place in France, okay? They all have British accents in Unity. All of them. Like, the only time you hear a French accent is when someone says, like, monsieur, or however how you say that word. I always say that word wrong.
Say it like that.
Oh, I know. I get made fun of all the time for saying it wrong. I just... Fuck it. Monsieur.
I'd like a croissant.
But yeah, everybody in Unity has a British accent. And, like, when I'm watching the Syndicate trailers, they're all the same voices from Unity. And it's like, I'm watching it, and I'm like, what the fuck? First of all, why are they British in Unity? I don't get it. It's France.
Yeah, why would the British be in France?
Like, they'll be talking in a bad British accent, and they'll be like, all right, we've got to stop them, monsieur. It's like, what?
Monsieur.
Monsieur.
I mean, maybe they are saying it like that in Unity because it's people doing a fake English accent. This is like the English saying monsieur, right?
They're doing a fake English accent on top of a fake French accent. It's just like, what the fuck's happening? But yeah.
Apparently, Ubisoft uploaded gameplay onto their YouTube channel. They didn't show it off at any of the conferences when people were actually watching.
Was it buggy?
I don't know.
Wah, wah, wah. They seem pretty making sure that Syndicate isn't a repeat of Unity. So hopefully it won't be.
Well, that's why they said it in a less beautiful place.
Hey, Bill, do you want to talk about Shenmue while I go and get another drink? Because I don't have anything to add to Shenmue.
That's a good point. I can pour a drink.
Sure.
Bye.
So we're talking about Sony now, and there was a slight reveal that Bill was kind of happy about.
They announced Shenmue 3 at the Sony conference. Now, as I said earlier in this stream, there were rumors that this was going to happen. Every E3, someone jokes about the 7 remake and Shenmue 3. Like you know, it's like the... I don't know. It's like the Bigfoot of E3. They always mention those as a joke. Same with Last Guardian. Now, there was a rumor early on. Yu Suzuki, the creator of Shenmue and Virtua Fighter, tweeted out a forklift. In Shenmue, you have a forklift as an odd job to make money so that you can progress the story and buy cool stuff like capsule toys. I'm
going to quickly interject. I know very little about Shenmue, but I thought that it was like a samurai type thing. I'm guessing it's not if you're working a forklift.
No, it takes place in like 1986 and spanning Japan and China. It's an open world game, open world series. Oh yeah, 1986 was a ripe time for samurais. Duran were directly inspired by the samurai, and when they recorded their single Hungry Like the Wolf, it was in reference to a samurai named Sammy Wolf, who was always very hungry. Anyway, Shenmue 3 was announced after much rumor and speculation. All these things were like, everyone was like, you're setting yourself up for disappointment, because like people were picking apart like, oh, this guy followed this guy on Twitter and that guy tweeted this, and it was like all shit that was like, okay, you do this every year. There's no way this is happening. It's all bullshit. All he did was tweet a picture of a forklift he saw walking into E3. The forklifts were there for a reason, to set up for E3. It was all just whatever. And then and I even tweeted out before the conference, like, yeah, let's get some Shenmue, because like I didn't think it was actually going to get announced. Like, it's one of those things where like I'm very attached to the Shenmue franchise, one of my favorite franchises of all time. I love the series a lot. One of those games though that just kind of died out. The Dreamcast died, and with it, the franchise died. You know, sales weren't great on it. Whatever. It was a franchise born on a platform that was doomed to die, and they tried to bring it back or tried to give it success in the U.S. by releasing it on the original Xbox, and it just didn't get any legs after its second one, and it ended on a cliffhanger. So for 14 years, people have been waiting for a conclusion to Shenmue, and they always thought, recently is like, bring it to Kickstarter. And that's exactly what they did. Now, it was kind of an odd thing to announce a Kickstarter on Sony's stage, but it's the same situation as Bloodstained, where the Castlevania successor, where the Kickstarter was more of a, here is proof to our investors and to our publisher that there is demand for this game, and if this gets funded successfully, our investors and publishers will back this game 100% with outside funding from Kickstarter. Yeah. Sony admitted it in Shenmue. We were waiting to see the results of the Kickstarter, and it got fully funded. So Sony admitted, hey, we're funding the rest of this game as well. We're putting money towards it. So, I mean, people were skeptical, like, wow, they did, what a skeevy thing to do. I think it was just a matter of Sony wanted to give this game a spot on their stage. I think it was going to be announced regardless of whether or not it was going to be on the Sony stage. Obviously, but this isn't something that just randomly popped up this week. They've obviously been working on this Kickstarter, and they've obviously been developing assets for Shenmue 3, but I feel like they just wanted to put this game on the stage, and it's a good spot to put it, because people were just recovering from Final Fantasy VII, and that Kickstarter hype blew that fucking page up. But I couldn't believe it. Like, when they brought Adam Boyes out, and he says, "Oh, we have a Kickstarter, thing we want to put on our stage, and whatever." And then the fucking cherry blossoms fell down, and it said Shenmue's story was left incomplete. And I threw we were doing the stream. I was texting my friends while they were watching it too.
I wish I could play it to you right now.
And
I wish I could play it to you right now.
We will have reaction clips up for the press conferences in the future, thanks to our friend Kinross. And I threw my fucking phone across the room. Like, I could have broke my phone. Like, I could have.
Would it have been worth it?
No.
Then you could have gotten an iPhone and played Fallout Shelter.
Like, I do have an iPhone. I just haven't upgraded my iPhone in a while. So, like, if I broke it, it's a good reason to get an upgrade into a phone. I usually don't migrate to new phones that often. I just, whatever, I don't care. But I threw my phone. I fucking screamed. I'm excited. I couldn't go up and pick my phone up to text to my friend because we were on stream, and I had to keep watching this video because I was so excited. So I get my phone back up. I have like 15 text messages. It was one of the most, for me, the best reveal at E3 I've seen for me. Like on an emotional level, like what they showed, they didn't really show anything, just like a proof of concept, like here's a Kickstarter. But like as far as like here's something like holy fuck, and I'm sure the Final Fantasy VII remake announcement was like this for many more people than the Shenmue announcement was. But like for me, like that was like the best E3 moment for me probably in my life. I can't think of anything I could think of that would be like, wow, that tops that. Like fuck. Fantastic. I urge everyone to try to play the Shenmue games. Try to find them. Whether I don't give a shit, you got to emulate the first one, go ahead. You got to emulate the second one, doesn't matter. Just play them in some way. They are aged a little bit, but they're very unique games in that they do a lot of things. A lot of open world games don't bother to try to attempt now. Not in terms of scope, like wow, this world's so big, but in terms of personality and charm, those games are unrivaled and they're so fantastic. I can't wait for the third one. I'm done talking about Shenmue now.
Because you briefly mentioned it, the Final Fantasy VII reveal. Probably not too interesting to anyone other than me who's been watching it back, but us sort of slowly trying to guess whether it is actually Final Fantasy VII and being like, this looks really cool. Looks kind of like Final Fantasy VII. It is Final Fantasy VII. It's very shiny.
I'm totally interested in playing Final Fantasy VII, like the remake, because like I never played it when it was a thing because I was always a Nintendo kid, if you couldn't tell. So when I got around to like being able to play Final Fantasy VII, it just didn't look that good.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know this is a classic game. I know that people like it. I really like the movie for some reason. I have no context to that movie, but for some reason I fucking love Advent Children.
Can I
don't know.
Can I just say, I'm going to throw out some spoilers, and I'm going to hold my hand up whilst I'm doing it, so if you're watching, my hand's up. If you're listening, I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to deal with it. So, There's a main character that dies in that game. Are people gonna bother leveling up that character? Do people bother leveling up that character when they replay it, or are they just gonna leave her to be just crap and save time?
Now, I'm not sure because I've never played Final Fantasy VII myself, but I don't know. She might have useful abilities up until the point where she dies.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe she's worth having up until that point. Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know. I mean, people who have played Final Fantasy VII, leave in the chat. What do you think?
Can I put my hand down? Probably.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, put the hand down. Yeah, put the hand down.
Yeah.
Just
Just put the hand down, John.
Put it down.
Put it down.
But yeah, I'm totally interested in playing Final Fantasy VII with Shiny Cloud Strife, who looks fucking awesome, and it looks like they use the Advent Children character designs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the only Final Fantasy I've ever played was 13. I think I got halfway through Disc 2. And then I stopped because I hated every single character except for the guy with the chocobo in his hair. And you didn't play as him nearly enough to justify it. So.
I mean, you get Cloud. Cloud, he's like the Final Fantasy character that everybody knows about. I'm so excited. So excited. Because I really want to play it.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great to bring that. I mean, people again, like it was one of those things that was rumored, and like it's one of those joke announcements every year, and especially after they announced the the PC port, the PS4 port of the PC port of Final Fantasy VII at like the Tokyo Game Show or whatever was it last year or something like that, where they just trolled the fuck out of everybody.
Yeah.
It's so at that point, people like lost total hope for any kind of remake or any kind of thing that isn't just a port. So like when this happened, like. I mean,
I wonder if that port of a port was a play.
Well, yeah.
People to be just like, well, it's never going to happen, and then they have, hey, look.
And then we'll surprise them with this, and then it leaks.
You know what? I want them to do all of the games in the Final Fantasy VII universe HD, like Crisis Core and whatever. So I want that whole story.
Well, you know, it'd be cool. What they did with the Kingdom Hearts remasters for the PS3 was, even if they don't have the full games in there, I know because Kingdom Hearts, I don't know what the hell. I want to get into that series, but I don't know what the fuck's going on in that series because they have like games on like 3 different platforms, and like some of them are canon and some of them you have to play. It's like, dude, fucking relax. Just give me games that I can follow on a thing with a thing.
Yeah.
And, what they did with the PS3 ports of Kingdom Hearts was like they included everything you need to know about Kingdom Hearts on those 2 collections, 1.5 and 2.5. They had cutscenes from like the DS games, the 3DS games, whatever other games they made, and even if they did something like that for the PS4 version of Final Fantasy VII, it included like just stuff that kind of had the complete Final Fantasy VII world on its disc.
Yeah.
I just realised, can you imagine how horrific a Final Fantasy install is going to be?
Mm-hmm. 60 gigs.
Is this the first Final Fantasy game that they've announced for PS4, or has there been another one?
Final Fantasy 15.
15.
14,
yeah,
I guess,
course.
is also on PS4.
14, yeah, I guess 14 counts. It's a mainline game with the story. So I guess it counts. But yeah, 15, 14. And then
No.
World of Final Fantasy.
the chibi...
I was so confused about what that actually was. I still don't think I'm that sure.
To be honest, I thought, like, because there was text that introduced it, I thought that was the Final Fantasy VII remake. I thought, oh, this could be Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah,
I think I said it in the stream. It's like, oh, it's Final Fantasy VII. It's not. And then it comes straight after.
It's funny because, like, that whole thing, like, there were the rumors that Final Fantasy VII was getting a remake announcement at E3. Like, there was those rumors beforehand. And then you wonder, like, when the World of Final Fantasy reveal starts, like, is this maybe the information those magazines got wrong? Is this the Final Fantasy thing? Because it has Final Fantasy VII characters in it. Is this, like, the remake that they fucked up their information on? And, that's all I kept thinking during it. I was like, wow, people are going to be mad when this turns out to be, like, the leak. Oh, yeah, and Andy says 10 and 10.2 were ported over to PS4.
Oh, yeah, of course they were.
But then they dropped the Megaton that was the Final Fantasy VII remake. But yeah, so I'm excited for that to get it's cool because it's going to reach a whole new generation of people that never played Final Fantasy VII or won't play Final Fantasy VII because of how it's aged. They'll get to experience that story. So I think it's really a win for a lot of people. So Last Guardian.
Yeah, we can't really talk about Sony without talking about that.
I can't believe they opened with that. Like,
Yeah.
the first announcement, they probably won E3 for pretty much everybody.
Another one of those games where every year it's like, you know, you see the E3 prediction threads and like Shenmue 3, Final Fantasy remake, Last Guardian, and then it's like, well, here's
Now
Last
what are the
Guardian.
prediction threads going to be about? Maybe Final Fantasy 4 and 6. Maybe people like that a lot.
Next year's E3 rumors are going to be Firefly Season 2. Picked up by Netflix.
Only on Xbox One.
Yeah.
Ooh. That would kill
Did that
me.
make you buy an Xbox One?
Yes. Or you know what? They would probably be ripped onto Pirate Bay by whatever.
10 minutes after.
Yeah, if I had to.
During the stream, I said that The Last Guardian looked like a PS3 game. It looked because people were saying that it didn't look particularly great. It turns out my stream quality was pretty poor. I watched the actual YouTube trailer. It looks very pretty.
I protested.
Yeah, that's why we were going, Kinross.
I protested. Yeah. I mean, like even if the game's like graphical fidelity wasn't totally up to snuff, the aesthetics and like the way the game just looks and the scope of it, like I look at it and you're like, well, that's definitely made by Team Ico, or they've changed their name and rearranged now, but I'm just gonna keep calling them Team Ico because that's just what they've
Japan
always done.
Studio now or something.
Yeah. Well, that's totally a game by them because like the aesthetics are beautiful. Like it's just.
I don't like how the dog, chicken, bird thing looks though. I just don't like the way that the feathers work.
Cute. I think it looks kind of
It's
cute,
just the
and I feel
feathers that
really
bother
gross
me.
for saying that it looks kind of cute. But I love the little dude's running animation. I think that's my favorite thing about that whole reveal.
Mm-hmm.
From what I've heard of those games, like the attention to detail they pay to in animation is insane. Like apparently, is it Ico that has a horse, or Shadow of the Colossus?
Shadow of the Colossus.
The best animated horse in gaming history. Sorry, reading chat.
So am I.
UC Dead or UCD 3AD. Will the Final Fantasy remake usher in a whole new generation of scene kids?
I hope so.
Have
I
we
want
not
that.
have we gotten rid of the current scene kids?
Scene's not in anymore, man.
Is it not? I've not got the finger on the pulse.
The Cloud Strife Hair will return to the mall in 2017.
You know what though? Like, I really need to play Ico, and Shadow of the Colossus. I have not done that yet.
You can probably find it in CEX for a tenner.
I should probably do that because it's one of those things that I've been like, man, I really need to play that game. And I would have been so fucking hyped for The Last Guardian had I played those two games before, because I've got a feeling I'm really going to like them.
I actually tried to play the games before on the day of the Sony conference, but I can't find my PS3 controller. So...
Oops.
It's £15 at CEX.
There you go then, that's what I'm going to be spending some money on in the future.
What else was there?
My
Horizon!
Yes, I was literally just about to say my favourite thing was Horizon, I think. Because it was like...
dinosaur, giraffe, robots.
Yes, it was a post-apocalyptic game with sort of like a Native American-ish vibe, with a girl with a bow. The character and the premise kind of just sold it for me. Like, I want it so bad.
You know what? I watched the trailer back today again. Just because I wanted to watch, and not necessarily for this purpose, but like the game looks fantastic. Guerrilla Games, you know, they're the Killzone guys. If anyone doesn't know, I believe it will. Whether it looks like it looked in the trailer or not, it was going to look graphically impressive because Guerrilla Games never fucking disappoints visually. As I'm looking at it, though, I want to look and see who are the lead artists for this game because it reminds me a lot of Enslaved, Odyssey. And I loved that game. And I love that game's aesthetic. And more people should play that game. It's been on sale a lot on Steam. It's a great game, visually impressive. It reminds me a lot of that. And as I'm watching it over again, I'm like, man, that reminds me a lot of it, like Enslaved. And like that's awesome because that art style, it's beautiful. The game Horizon looks beautiful. Like, it was great.
I think that might have been my highlight from Sony because I've not been attached to obviously Shenmue and The Last Guardian, Final Fantasy, and whatever. So Horizon was kind of the game that made me go, I want to buy a PS4 really bad right now.
Yeah.
Can't afford to, but I would really like to.
It looks great. I'm excited. Probably the biggest new IP announced, presumably. I mean, like, what else?
I don't know. Ubisoft announced a game that was a new genre.
Oh, For Honor. I actually think it looks cool, but it's not a new genre. I don't know why the fuck.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
I think that we misinterpreted what they said. I think that they were saying it was a new genre for them.
Well, they
Like,
should have said
not
that
that it-
then.
Yeah.
I think they probably did, but we were cracking jokes at someone. Yeah.
What else did Sony show? They showed Hitman's Hitman.
Hitman was just a trailer with a bit of gameplay, I think, wasn't it?
A little
Yeah.
trailer.
They
Or
showed
was it Squeenix who showed the gameplay and Sony showed the trailer?
Squeenix showed the same thing that they showed in the
Yeah.
press conference, I'm pretty sure.
It's all blurred together. There's some online massive community thing going on, which I didn't really understand. Like the community can put out hits on other folk.
Something.
Something. I'm not too big into the Hitman stuff. So.
Then they had the weird ass fucking Media Molecule guy come out and show Dreams. Those people are crazy over there, Media Molecule, and that's fine because like nobody. I don't know shit about this game. I don't know what the fuck is it? Like, is it a game? Is it like a movie maker?
Like an animation program.
And I think it's very impressive because like after they demonstrated like what you do, you mold somebody else's dream, and then you scope someone's dream, and then you take their dream, and then you eat their dream, and then you make their dream a man, and then you make that man's dream a dream, and then you dream it up, and then like
a polar bear.
There was
Yeah,
a
and
polar
then-
bear. That was the best
yeah.
part.
and then they show. I'm gonna assume they didn't outright say it, but then they showed all these animations, and like as you're watching, you're like you start to realize like holy shit, like this is all the shit you can make like in this game, like, and it looks insane. Like there's no way in fucking hell I'm gonna be able to make any of that. So it's one of those games where like maybe I'll buy it when it's on sale like a year down the road when I can go into other people's dreams and dream it up in their dreams and take their dreams and then just watch it. Because I'm not able to make any of it, but it's an interesting idea. You know, it looks creative and it looks great for people who want to express themselves in that way, and you know, it looks neat. But I mean, I don't really
going to suffer from spore syndrome though.
Yeah.
Where everything's a penis.
Everything's gonna be a penis. Someone's gonna invade like a really like romantic dream. It's really pretty, and then they're just gonna draw a penis on the dude's face.
They had to have talked about it. Like when they were pitching this game and like when they had like first showed it off, like say it was a small team at Media Molecule who's working on this project, you know, and they're going to bring it to like a meeting or whatever. This is what we've been working on. You know, I don't know how game development works, but you know, but this is to say for the sake of this. This is what we've been working on. You know, we're going to propose it to the team. We should, you know, put our efforts towards this for the PlayStation 4. Here's what you do. And he takes the controller and he starts making shit. And then like they had to know like people are just going to draw everyone's gonna draw wieners. Like that's all people are gonna.
Yeah.
Like spaceship wieners, truck wieners, like house wieners, like wiener wieners. Like it's all it's gonna be.
They must have some odd form of like quality control where they're like, hey, this shape is clearly a penis.
Are you sure?
You're not allowed to do that.
Are you sure you want to dream that shape up? And then it like deletes it on you, and like oh shit.
Everyone's a Ken doll.
But anyway,
It was
they showed
interesting.
that.
It's utterly useless to me. But
They showed off the Destiny stuff, which I think looks good. Bungie, in my opinion, I won't talk about Destiny for too long. I don't really have much to say about it, aside from the fact that they've pulled it together with, and it may be too little too late for some people, but for a lot of people, House of Wolves is a really great DLC. They had a lot of stuff into it. Taken King looks really great. A lot of neat stuff in there. I watched the vid doc afterwards and some other stuff they showed off the stage for the Taken King, and yeah, it looks like a really great step for Destiny. And if you've been waiting to buy Destiny, you'll be able to buy Taken King plus all the DLC and the base game bundled up together for, I think, the price of a game. So people will probably be saying that's what Destiny should have been at launch, and maybe, but it is there now. So it's worth taking a look.
I continue to be pissed off that the PS4 is getting exclusive content, at least for a time. I mean, I said it on the stream, I don't care anymore too much because I now own both Xbox and PS4 version. But the fact that they're talking about new game content when, as far as I'm aware, the Xbox One guys are still waiting on strikes from the first DLC drop is insane. And I don't like it.
Yeah, time DLC exclusivity and timed like exclusive content's kind of lame. You know what I mean? Like for example, like the Xbox One Destiny players are out. I think 2 strikes still. I think,
if not more.
PS4 players got. It's not that many. It's like it's 1 strike per DLC. So 1 strike and 2 guns, I think, per DLC. I don't know. It's something like that. It's like it's 1 thing and then 2 things and whatever. And it kind of sucks, you know what I mean? Like exclusive content gets lame, and it's all driven by money. I mean, like it's the one thing. Like when someone wants to be cynical about something, it's timed exclusivity on fucking anything stupid. I don't like it. The Rise of the Tomb Raider thing is a good example of it. Tomb Raider has a lot of fans on PS4 and PC. I mean, like I don't know how much Microsoft's money helped finish Tomb Raider, but if it didn't really help make the game better, then I don't think Crystal Dynamics should have, or whoever's publishing that. No. Should have fucked Square Enix, I think. Is that who's publishing that game?
Yeah.
Or they should not have taken that fucking deal. It's okay to say no to a deal like that. I mean, like I'm gonna assume the money helped fund it, or they just love that $, which is another fair point.
Yeah.
I don't think it should have taken that deal. I think it's fucking stupid.
Full exclusives are like Halo and Uncharted. They're lame, but it's understandable because it's like, well, that's never going to go anywhere else. It's part of that system. You wouldn't expect to see a Mario game on an Xbox.
And they're fully funded and by Sony. Like Uncharted's fully backed, published by Sony. Halo's fully backed, published by Microsoft. Like their games funded directly by the first party. But stuff like Rise of the Tomb Raider, like there's 0 reason that's exclusive. Fucking Guns and Destiny, there's no reason that should be exclusive to PS4. The strikes and even for the longest time, Call of Duty on Xbox, where the Xbox players would get the DLC pack a whole month before the PlayStation people would, like, which is gone now.
People are now getting beta access like a month earlier or something.
All of the Call of Duty exclusivity deals flopped over to Sony now. I assume Microsoft contract ended and Activision went to the leading console for this gen and decided, hey, well, that's where the money is now. Let's go there. And I think it's lame. I think every Call of Duty player should get the map packs on the same damn day. Every Destiny player should have the same amount of strikes. Everybody who likes Tomb Raider should be able to fucking play the game in November. Like, but again, if Microsoft's money helped that game come out, which I have a hard time believing, then so be it. But whatever. What are you gonna do? Kind of a bummer. Exclusivity sucks. No Man's Sky.
I still don't know what that game's about, and I thus don't care. He showed us flying to a random planet, which was cool. There are planet-sized planets.
I think what he meant by that was like the actual space there is as big as a real planet in real life. Like I think that's what he meant. It came out like it's a planet-sized planet. We're like, no shit, you dingus. But I think what he meant was like this planet is as big as like if you were to leave your house right now and go to Venus.
Yeah.
That would be what died.
But all was shown was blowing up a rock. And, sort of scouting, I guess, for resources or whatever. But
I remain optimistic about No Man's Sky. But like they really don't show anything new. I mean, like I think the potential is fantastic, and I did see a few. Again, like for some reason they did this with the Uncharted 4 demo. I mean, they did with No Man's Sky, where they keep further shit behind closed doors for people who are attending the show. And I saw a few tweets from some other devs and some game journalists talking about how they got their hands on and actually got to play No Man's Sky, and it made them a believer. Like, you just have to kind of play it. But at the same time, it's like, why don't you show us what they're playing? You know what I mean? Like, show us the hands-on gameplay you're giving people behind closed doors. It's obviously ready and it's impressing people. Yeah. Why wouldn't it impress the public? And like, I mean, Uncharted 4 is Uncharted 4. They don't have to show anything. But Uncharted 4, the second half of that demo was shown, and everyone's saying it's one of the most outrageous action sequences in the game. Like, why didn't you show that to us too? Like, I mean, I guess they need to keep some things like worth it for the people who go there. But like,
I mean, it is a press event, but it is becoming a bigger blurred line since it's all being live streamed to anyone who has an internet.
I think it being primarily for the press and like investors and whatever the fuck else, a business thing, I think is far gone. I think they're directly, like, in a way, selling these things to us now. Yeah. And like, I think they need to do a better job on that with certain things and not keeping certain aspects of things behind closed doors, because the majority of people are watching the live stream and you see it with the live stream numbers, like show us what No Man's Sky is really about. And like I know, like I'm interested in the concept and I'm impressed with its scope. But like people are remaining skeptical of your game because you aren't really showing anything else besides you zoning out and going, here's all these planets. Look at them. I'm really shy. The end.
It's a shame that we can't quite segue into shy people. Because,
No, I want to talk about Bethesda next.
You want to talk about Bethesda? Well, yeah, I guess we can save Battlefront for EA. Bethesda! They were the ones who started it all.
Yeah, they were.
That
was the best way to open E3 for me because I know that you weren't particularly interested in Doom, but I like the fact that they showed us so much gameplay rather than here's a cinematic trailer for a game that we might release within the next 2 years. They showed us genuine gameplay and some of it looked really cool.
I think they went a little bit overboard with it.
It was when they were like, here's some single player, here's some multiplayer, here's some more single player, and I was like, okay, this is a bit too much, but I guess they needed to fill the time because they didn't have a ton of stuff there.
And Doom is a big franchise for gaming, and it's a new Doom for the first time since Doom 3.
It's being slammed for being too violent.
It's fucking Doom.
You did rip a dude's arm off just to open a door. You could have picked that guy up.
It's fucking Doom. That's like the people who get mad at Mortal Kombat. Like, dude, do you remember what these fucking games are about? Like, shit, man. That's like, oh, there's a fucking football in Madden. Like, yeah, no shit. Anyway.
Yeah, there was a lot of Doom. I went from having no interest in the game to being mildly interested. I will never play it because it's like a horror type thing, and I don't do well with that, even if it's just like on the light end of stuff. But the gunplay looked interesting enough that if enough people I knew bought it, I might pick it up for multiplayer, and if the multiplayer survives as long as it will because of their insane map building, then maybe I'll pick it up a few months down the line.
I probably won't. It looked cool. And then they got to the point where they brought the chainsaw out, and I was like, no, it's too much for me. I'm a bit weak here. But then they announced Dishonored 2, which I never played Dishonored 1.
I picked it up in the sale.
I have the game, I've just never played it.
Yep. I messed around with the challenge modes a little bit just to make sure it worked on my computer. I never got around to actually starting it, but the gameplay's slick as fuck, so
no,
should be good.
I will get around to that before Dishonored 2.
They are releasing the Dishonored Definitive Edition on PS4 and Xbox One.
Can we start with Definitive Editions? Really?
Well, it's less of a Definitive Edition. It's more of a remaster.
Yeah, but why?
Because you're trying to convince people.
I won't get it. You'll try and explain it to me, I won't get it. Sleeping Dogs didn't need a Definitive Edition. Why did they do that?
Yeah, what the fuck was that? I in the Dishonored realm, I can maybe understand because the new Dishonored seems like it's I don't know anything about the storyline, but it seems like from what I was reading in the Twitch chat that Dishonored 2 picks up from Dishonored 1 or is somewhat of a timeline continuation, and maybe they want people who didn't get to play it and maybe they abandoned other world platforms to get into the storyline. Mm. But Sleeping Dogs didn't need one. There's no Sleeping Dogs 2, you fucks.
Right?
So what the anyway.
Worst disappointment because they were showing off something about Triad Wars in the Squeenix conference.
Oh.
And I was like, no, this isn't what I want.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm so shiny. It's really, really hot in here.
You're Cloud!
I've got 3 screens in here.
You're the Final Fantasy VII remake version of Kinross.
Anyway, the other thing that they announced that I wasn't expecting was the Elder Scrolls card game.
You mean Scrolls?
Yeah, pretty much.
I love it. I love it. That's the whole Mojang Notch thing. Scrolls, Elder Scrolls. It's funny. That's funny.
I want to know, because their reasoning for getting angry at them calling it Scrolls was because people associate Elder Scrolls with them.
Yeah.
Did they have a plan for a TCG or CCG before or after Scrolls got announced, and they were like, that would have been a perfect name for a TCG by us. Oh, now we're going to call it Legends.
Good point. Could be.
Because Scrolls has been out for what?
I hope
2
it's
years
fun.
Now?
I hope the Elder Scrolls thing is fun.
Me too, because I'd like to get into one of these online TCGs, and Elder Scrolls is one of my favorite IPs. So like, being able to use cards and themes from the Elder Scrolls franchise,
if I can make a deck with Parthenax as a big theme, I'd be so fucking down for that.
Dude, for a fact, it's gonna be a Mudcrab card. I mean, it's just destined to happen. But what I'm most excited about is being able to get into an online TCG from the ground up. I missed the boat with Hearthstone, and at this point in Hearthstone's life, I know a lot of people will say, well, you just do this or that, and it's not that hard. But it is, in a way, kind of daunting to get into Hearthstone in its current state without dumping some money in initially. You know what I mean? On the adventure packs or whatever, to get some of the newer cards that people are using. I mean, you could just play whatever, just say fuck it and just play free mode or whatever, and just get whooped. And learn the mechanics slowly, but I would like to get into one of these from the ground up when nobody has, full decks built, and just kind of seamlessly be there when new cards come out, when new stuff happens, and I hope it's successful, and I'm interested in it. For sure.
Mm-hmm. Same. And
I actually forgot about it.
Seriously, the biggest moment of E3 for me.
Fallout Shelter.
Fallout Shelter was the biggest surprise for me.
I think you just said that the Scrolls game was the biggest surprise.
No, it was the Scrolls game, the Elder Scrolls game was a surprise, but it wasn't the biggest surprise because I already knew that they were going to do Fallout 4, so I was like, they're not going to do anything else. Fallout, clearly, because they're doing Fallout 4, and then they were like, here's an app that you can download right now. On iOS. So, who thought that Fallout 4 looked good?
Me.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I am just... For some reason, I thought that it was going to be the same disgusting grey-brown of Fallout 3.
See, Fallout 3, that sort of fit the theme a little bit, because it was...
But it made me so ill.
It made you ill?
It made the colour scheme and the FOV made me feel ill.
Okay, the FOV I get. Don't quite understand the colour scheme.
Well, it could be the colour scheme, because I react quite strongly to sort of sickly greens and things, which is why I really don't like being that certain colour in Splatoon.
Oh, right, okay.
So, the fact that it didn't look like that, it was quite colourful, and it seemed to be balls to the wall insane in some regards during the Microsoft conference, the stuff they showed off.
Mm-hmm.
I might have to pick it up for myself.
I'm getting a Pip-Boy.
Ebbie's getting a Pip-Boy.
Are you gonna wear it outside? You're even gonna wear it outside? What are you gonna wear it?
Although then it'd be upside down, wouldn't it? You gotta.
Yeah, you really gotta. Yeah, what the fuck? You didn't think this through, Bethesda? You didn't even answer your fucking phone with it. Oh.
Literally, it's gonna go. It's gonna go next to my Vault Boy bobblehead. So.
I think you can get a free bobblehead with this. I'm not sure.
I'm gonna have so many bobbleheads. It's gonna be great. Look, it bobbles.
Bobblehead bobbles. My god.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
As soon as Todd Howard came out on stage, I started battering Andy because I was so excited. I was like, Andy, this is the best thing. Because I think I've said before on podcasts, if Todd Howard wasn't developing that game, I would be much less interested. Because I really like the way that he develops his games. He's so passionate about them, and you can tell from conferences and stuff, just how much he loves doing what he does. And I didn't like Fallout New Vegas, which Todd Howard had nothing to do with. Because I felt like New Vegas had so many different things that it wanted to put into it and didn't really form this cohesive one-time experience. It was more of this game you have to play multiple times to get the most out of it, which I don't have time for. So I really like the way that Fallout 4 looks. Apparently it's over 400 hours in length.
Maybe I don't want that game.
Are
they including infinite quests in that?
I don't know if it has Radiant quests. I don't know if it's got Radiant quests going on.
Building every settlement.
Maybe, I don't know.
I feel like if they include the Radiant quests, obviously they didn't mention anything about it. It might be in there in some form, but not as obvious as Skyrim, maybe. Not as here's an obviously randomly placed chalice that doesn't have any importance on anything. Can we just get it from my mother?
That was probably the worst thing about Skyrim was that I could never clean out my quest log because I always had Dark Brotherhood quests there, no matter what.
I mean, like I appreciate what they did in a way. Like, hey, you can technically play Skyrim forever, but they relied on that too much for the faction quest lines, and Oblivion's faction quest lines dwarfed Skyrim's. Like Dark Brotherhood and Thieves Guild and Oblivion were so fantastic, and Skyrim they were shorter, and because they had raiding quests. Like, hey, why not just fill the Dark Brotherhood with tons of repeatable murder quests instead of
luckily Fallout doesn't have a lot of factions like that you can do multiple of in the same playthrough anyway. So my biggest concern is that you play as, from what it seems like, as part of the Enclave. And Fallout 3 told me that I shouldn't like the Enclave because the Enclave are evil, and Brotherhood of Steel are like super good, ultra good people.
Maybe it's
like,
a really good thing.
But like the vertibirds that are in, which are like the helicopter things, they're Enclave. They're just straight up Enclave vehicles. And there was a point where at the top it said the name of the enemy, and the name of the enemy was Brotherhood Initiate. That concerns me a teensy tiny little bit, because I'm really attached to the Brotherhood of Steel. Because they're awesome. So that was my biggest concern. I think they might have sold me on the voice protagonist, though.
I like it.
Like if they legitimately recorded so many lines of dialogue with thousands of different popular names, that's ridiculous. Like,
I wonder if they're gonna cross over into the next Elder Scrolls game. A voice protagonist.
You know if they have been working on Fallout 4 since they finished Skyrim.
I think they've been working at Fallout 3.
Oh yeah, that's right, isn't it?
Yeah.
That means they're definitely working on the next Elder Scrolls game.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Which is kind of exciting. But it'll be another like 4 years until we see that anyway. Like the people who are like, why wasn't Elder Scrolls there? What?
Those games aren't like a yearly franchise. Like people are Skyrim 2's gonna what? Fuck out of here. Fallout 4 will keep us busy anyway. Like a game's immense. Like the settlement building, tons of customization. The fact that mods are going to be brought on both consoles in some capacity, in some way, is amazing.
I like how he said specifically for free.
Yeah. After that paid mod controversy, they killed it. They killed it with the Fallout 4 presentation. My favorite bit of it, and I've watched this video over and over again. Now I like Fallout. I like Bethesda. I'm not as big of a Fallout fan as you are, Ebbie. I'm more of an Elder Scrolls. Like
it's alright, because you'll be a Fallout fan.
That's yeah. I'm gonna be starting. Excuse me. I'm gonna be starting to play 3 soon. I just reinstalled 3 in New Vegas. But my favorite bit of the E3 presentation of Fallout 4 was the kill montage trailer, where they have that awesome song playing, where they just showcase tons of combat. And I've watched it over and over again because I love the song, and I love the voice protagonist because in the beginning it's fuck some shit up. I'm like, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. He's talking to his damn dog. Like fuck yeah. And then the combat.
You can rename the dog as well, actually.
Yeah.
The dog automatically gets renamed to Dog Meat at some point, or you can choose the name of the dog, which is kind of cool.
That's pretty awesome.
I like that all the random crap can be turned into stuff that you use for weapon mods. So you can just pick up everything.
Oh my god, the weapon modifications looked fucking insane. Like, it looks like there are so many options for weapons, which is ridiculous. Like, I don't know that is a game that I will ever 100% complete, but I will give it a good go. Oh man, the settlements got me excited. The fucking VATS got me really excited, because one of my big problems with Fallout 3 was when you went into VATS, it like froze time. So if there was a ghoul coming at you and you were like, and went into VATS, you had enough time to look at it and be like, it's not that bad, you know? But with what they're doing with VATS in Fallout 4 is that things still move in VATS, but they move slower, so you don't have infinite time. You have a time limit to do what you need to do, but, you know, they still got VATS and it looks really cool. And also, I noticed on the compass at the bottom, this is like much appreciated from someone who played a lot of Fallout 3, is that when there is an enemy on the compass, they're displayed as like a little round dot, but if they're above you, there's a tiny little arrow above to tell you to look up to find the enemy. I wish
That's
that
a
was
nice
in
touch.
Fallout 3.
Yeah.
Good God.
It's probably a mod, to be fair.
What?
It's probably a mod.
I thought you were like, that's probably a mod, and I'm like, the game's not out, Kinross.
I think they nailed
just,
I think they nailed the combat in particular.
I want to think that the combat's going to be way better than it was in Fallout.
I mean, everything from that kill montage, like the gunplay looks meatier, like the melee combat hits look heavier. I mean, I mean, I would assume that they would be going and specifically working on that anyway. It just looks great. You know, it looks great. They
Comes out in November.
Yeah, and there was the other thing. Yeah, like fantastic.
Like, I think that whole Fallout presentation, that will be my highlight of E3 for a very, very, very long time to come. Like your Shenmue thing. You know, we both had really good E3s technically, apart from everything else was kind of like there were some really good things, and then everything else was like, eh.
Like EA.
Oh, we're moving on to EA.
Yep.
Pele.
27 minutes of sports. Mobile.
You know, EA is one I look back on and like, you know, we maybe shouldn't have done a thing for EA, like a live stream. You know, it's like I knew it was going to be a lot of sports.
Yeah,
they do
it always is, but
do it every year. Yeah.
the thing is, like if we had skipped EA, you wouldn't have had your Mass Effect. You wouldn't have had Plants vs Zombies.
But you were super disappointed with the
only
they showed of Mass
because
Effect.
they didn't follow through with. I'm just saying, like for example, if you don't bother with EA next year, you're not going to see anything about Mass Effect.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have found out about Unravel, which is an amazing looking game with
Unravel is like real good.
Creator.
That dude who came out on stage, we're going to talk about the nervous Swedish yarn guy now, UCD. He was my favourite person from E3, and Todd Howard was here. Like, Todd Howard was at that E3, and he still managed to be my favourite person, because he was like, I made a game, look, who made it? He looked so terrified. And
he was shaking.
So sweet.
Have you seen their Twitter?
No.
Their Twitter is Yanni, who is the character in the game, basically playing all the stuff at E3. And he's like been posed to hold controllers and things, and
oh my gosh,
it's adorable.
I'm so sold on that though. Like, Unravel is the only thing I took away from that conference. Going, I really want to play that.
Yeah,
that's it.
Pretty much.
And I don't know if it's just because I really liked the nervous guy, like, because I thought he was adorable. Because he was like, I tried really hard to make this game.
You're not a big Mirror's Edge?
Mirror's Edge gives me horrific headaches and travel sickness, so... Well, travel sickness. Illness. Motion sickness. There you go.
Yeah.
So I'm not interested in that. Not a big Star Wars person, and Battlefront was there. It looked really cool, though. Like... if I was a Star Wars fan, that'd be great.
Yeah, I think Battlefront looks really good.
I still won't pick it up at launch, but
like as far as like my expectations for it, you know, I mean, like I don't have as big of an attachment as a lot of other people, but like what I saw of it, I'm like, wow, that was good. Like,
what's the Twitter account for?
It's a good game. The Mass Effect thing disappointed me. I really thought this year we were gonna get some actual details from developers at BioWare about the game instead of another tease. I mean, this was better than last year when they showed us concept art. We got a title and a teaser trailer. I mean, the trailer itself shows you it's open world. I mean, those kind of details sort of leaked, whether they're trustworthy or not, or one thing, but they kind of implied it in the trailer when he's scrolling through his little screen there at all these different locations. Presumably them telling us, hey, you're going to be able to pick a planet and go to it kind of deal. But at the same time, I would have liked someone from BioWare to come out and go, yeah, this is the title, Andromeda, whatever the fuck it's called. Yeah. We have big plans for this. It's open world. You're going to be real excited. We're going to show more of it at, like, Gamescom or something. Instead, they just showed it, and then, like, that evil-looking guy came walking back out, and I'm like, well, come on. Like,
I'm going to have to be right back, sorry.
That's
Bye.
See you, Kinross. Yeah, so that disappointed me. Just something. Some kind of official details about Mass Effect 4 I would have appreciated, but they
it would have been like the best E3 ever.
Yeah, all of my favorite franchises, a lot of my favorite franchises are represented. It would have been nice. They showed more Garden Warfare 2. They showed us the gameplay of Garden Warfare 2. I mean, we knew what was coming already.
Like zombies, though. They didn't show us any plants, as far as I can remember. But you know when they came out, then that guy dressed as the zombie came out to Highway to the Danger Zone or whatever it was. I thought, is that the Peggle guy? Is that the guy who announced Peggle?
You know what? It probably was. It probably was him in that suit.
Oh, that guy.
I was good though. I mean, they showed the Old Republic expansion, which if you like the Old Republic, that's probably.
Well, they didn't really. They showed us a trailer. For it that probably has nothing to do with the gameplay.
CG trailers for and stuff like that for MMOs give you nothing but the context in which you're going to be playing and leveling your character in which case, who gives a shit? Like, yeah, what's in the expansion pack and why should I care?
I mean, if you're a super big Star Wars fan who's like really up to date on their lore or whatever.
Yeah, and I guess
maybe it was a thing for you, but I have no idea what.
And I guess in the Old Republic's defense, the MMO is really story-centric compared to most, so maybe in that case, fans of that game, the people remaining on its servers, probably care more about the story than I do. I just like to see what MMOs are adding to their games over the years. I pay attention to all of them I've played, even though I don't play them anymore. I like to see what they're adding, and I would have liked to have maybe, hey, what are you doing there in your fucking game? But, nah, well... Pele.
Yep. I don't know. Like, I didn't know who he was. Apparently, he's been retired for like 10 years longer than I've been alive. So,
like, I've always heard of I mean, I know he's great. I know he's a legacy. Whatever. I respect the man. I respect that they brought him out in a way. But like, they had him on. It was like watching like an ESPN special on the life of Pele. Why they bring? They talked to him for a long time. I mean, like...
It was at least 10 minutes.
Like, and, like, when these companies are putting these things together, like, they have to know, like... I mean, I'm sure they do some kind of focus testing or, like, whatever, like where they place things in a conference and how it tests well with, like, like, inside the company. You know, like, in...
But surely they couldn't have had Pele there.
Yeah, just like 20-minute... Yeah, maybe
so they're just like, imagine we've got a 10-minute interview with Pele here, okay?
And then that 10 minutes in real life at the show turned into like 20.
It was horrible. It was so horrible. Because it was just like, announcement that I didn't care about, Pele's here for 10, 20 minutes, whatever it was. Another announcement that I don't care about, Star Wars. Like... It just didn't do anything for me personally. Hi.
Hello.
Welcome back.
I think you've just managed to skip out on all the EA talk because we just went on about Pele for a bit too long there. Because
that sports section, my God.
I've
watched it back like 3 times now.
I think we should just move on from EA. Pretend that it didn't exist. Ubisoft.
They announced South Park, new South Park game.
Yeah, that was probably the biggest surprise, I guess.
Yeah, it took me 5 minutes to get the joke in the title.
The fractured but whole.
The fractured but whole. Yeah. And I read it, and like someone said, "Oh, it's one of the greatest game titles ever." And I read it again. I'm like, "Wait, why?" And wait, it's talking about a butthole. Okay, I get it now. So that's there. I didn't play the first one yet. I'd like to.
Play the first one.
I heard good things.
It's on sale right now for about £8.
Yeah. Then they announced their new IP for Honor, which looks like a melee combat game.
It looks like Chivalry.
Looks prettier than Chivalry. Maybe it'll be. I love Chivalry, so I'm all for more games like this. Yeah.
It looks like it might be a bit meatier.
Yeah. Understandable, bigger budget, you know, and Chivalry is made by an indie team. I'm interested in it. I mean, like...
I know Kinross has just got back, but I need to be right back.
Revolving Door.
Yeah. It's like Bill during the EA conference where it's just like, I'm going to take a bathroom break.
Here's the problem with the EA conference, okay?
I drank so much beer that basically any time a new game was announced, it's like, I don't care about this. I'm going to move. I'm going to go be right back.
I have to go to the bathroom. When I drink beer, I go to the bathroom way too much. I only had 3 beers throughout that press conference, and I must have went to the bathroom 5 or 6 times. And I can't sit here and be comfortable streaming while I have to go to the bathroom, so... Nature has... So EA was the P
Probably
conference.
the best one to do. if you're in Squeenix, you probably could have gone away with it. But yeah, I'm interested in For Honor.
Yeah.
I'd like to know a bit more about it. I basically want to know if it's the same as Chivalry, but a bit cloutier.
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't have any issue with at all. I can actually play Chivalry now. My computer can run it, so I might reacquaint myself.
I like Chivalry. They announced Just Dance with the guest appearance of Jason Derulo.
Who?
Exactly.
Did they demo Just Dance, or did they just say it exists?
They didn't demo.
That was the one where you could, like, it was free, but you could like rent songs, right?
Oh yeah, the PS4
like a karaoke bar type thing.
They have like Just Dance Unlimited or something like that, where like you can, like, subscribe to like a streaming service or something like that lets you do something with something. I don't know. But that was that guy come out, dance and sing, and have a great old time in the middle of the games conference.
Oh, it's also the Unlimited is also on Wii U, so it's everyone.
Oh, okay. So all the current gen stuff, is getting that one. That's good. Just Dance is Just Dance. They always bring a guy out to dance. They Usher the 1 year, this guy this year. A lot of Tom Clancy stuff.
There was a lot of Tom Clancy's.
A lot of Tom Clancy stuff.
I'm really sorry about the shininess. It is so hot in here.
It is okay. I totally understand.
It is. On a related note, I'm gonna have a drink.
Yeah, a lot of Tom Clancy stuff. They show up a Division again. The Division looks like the Division. It keeps looking like the Division. There's
one because there were so many. I can't remember which one it was, but one of the Tom Clancy games actually looked quite interesting to me.
Was it Ghost Recon? The open world one with like the drug running and stuff.
It might be that one, or it might be Rainbow Six.
Rainbow Six is the one where you said you can throw a blanket on top of a bomb.
Oh yeah.
And it would muffle the bomb.
I think I might have misworded that. I think I might have been talking about like muffling the sound or something. But I was so tired that I probably said muffle the bomb. Yeah. But I mean, people jump on top of grenades.
That's true. That's true.
Sure, a person has a bit more substance than a blanket, but
the Ghost Recon reveal was interesting because like there's never been a Ghost Recon game like that. They've always been like tight, not corridor squad-based shooters, and this blew the Ghost Recon franchise into a different dimension with its open worldness, and it looks it's an Ubisoft game though, so it's gonna be open world. It's gonna have lots of icons probably, and
what we're talking about Tom Clancy probably.
Yeah.
Because it was the year of Tom Clancy. It's like Six Siege. It's a Tom Clancy game. Is it?
The Division. There's Ghost Recon and Rainbow Six.
Yep. What's Tom Clancy?
Tom Clancy is a guy. Yeah. I'll work out which one of them I was interested in, and probably pick it up.
I'm probably gonna get the Division just to have it.
The Division looks like the most interesting one to me.
And depending, Rainbow Six Siege looks interesting because it looks like it wants to capture the not capture the essence, but like the idea of playing a small team squad based shooter like CS:GO, but on your console and under a franchise that is more successful on console than Counter-Strike usually is. But the thing is like, will the game have legs? I mean, like that's one of those things where like, is it worth buying? Is the multiplayer community going to be dead in a month or two?
Yeah.
Should I just play Counter-Strike? That's just that's same type of game modes, defusing bombs, doing this shit. I mean, Siege has the crazy physics of blowing walls open and doing all kinds of cool siege mechanics.
Blankets.
And it has blankets.
The best moment of E3 when.
But, my decision in picking that up all hinges on whether or not it'll survive. The Division I'll probably pick up just because that will have legs. It's a loot-based shooter. It's gonna have legs.
Is that the one with the totally not scripted chat?
Oh yeah. They're gonna flank it on my butthole. Come on, get on my six. Like, no one fucking talks like that. Fuck that.
I'll probably pick up the Division when it's on sale if other people have picked up the Division and told me that it's good. Because I was super excited for that game at first. Like, I was like, this game looks amazing. Because, again, post-apocalyptic. And that's my jam.
Yep.
So, yeah. Maybe that one. Probably not
Cool.
the other two.
Is that really it for Ubisoft?
There was the crew.
But no one
about
gives
that.
a
Was that
shit
like
about
DLC?
the crew.
DLC for the crew. I never played the crew, so I mean. I
There
don't really-
was
And then
the
Trackmania.
Trials Fusion.
Oh, the thing with the
Trials
unicorn.
Fusion
Awesome level
unicorn. Yeah.
I think I missed that one.
It was basically
people were
a
like, you
cat.
missed the unicorn. I'm like, what?
The cat was. Everyone thought, oh my god, is this Darksiders 3? For a split second, everyone was like, is this Darksiders? And then it turned out to be a cat riding on the back of a unicorn that did flamethrowers out of its nose.
I'm looking
That's
at the
Trials.
wiki page for Trials Fusion. I can't see any mention of this at all. So I'll have to look it up later.
You're in for a treat.
I mean, I hate Trials. But
Do you like Trials if it was? Would you like Trials if it was a unicorn instead
only
of a
if the
bike?
unicorn can fly and just ignore the track entirely. I suppose then it would be a pegacorn, but yeah. Not an awful lot from Ubi, really.
No, I was kind of disappointed because usually they have at least one thing that's like, oh my god, this looks amazing, but no, not this year.
Yeah.
The closest to that would probably be For Honor, and if you were a fan of Stick of Truth,
Yeah.
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 the South Park game, but
Um.
and maybe if you care about it, Anno 2205.
That'd be
Yeah,
interesting.
People
That'd
like
be
Anno, but
Yeah.
never played one.
So then all that's left is Square Enix, which I didn't see yet.
You didn't.
Oh god,
should
you
definitely
dodged
see
a
it.
fucking bullet there.
It was
They
the
didn't announce.
worst ending.
Just so you know, they didn't announce Sleeping Dogs 2, so it was the worst conference.
Ba ba ba. I sure
they-
I should have done was look up the trailer for Deus Ex because I'm interested in that.
They basically showed mostly trailers to stuff that had already been shown, and it wasn't like a different trailer for most of it. It was like the same trailer, which is yeah,
They
like
announced a new Nier game.
yeah, they did. This is a new Nier game coming out.
That's surprising.
Yeah,
Not
I know
Kickstarter.
Alan is a really big fan of Nier, but he's the only person that I know that's like, yeah, Nier.
I've been meaning to check it out. Just haven't gotten a chance to yet.
What else did they? Star Ocean, a sequel, I guess. It seemed like
My,
a franchise that people
sequel,
liked
but-
quite a bit.
Yeah, my friend's excited for that. I've never played a Star Ocean game.
If we feel like we're glossing over Square Enix, I'm gonna explain why. On a couple of occasions, most of the conference was given in Japanese. On a couple of occasions, the translator wasn't translating. The audio would drop for him to speak, and he didn't speak, so we didn't actually know what was going on. So that was awful.
They did show off some of Kingdom Hearts 3 though. For
Oh, they
those of you who are big on Kingdom Hearts, none of us have played it as far as I'm aware though. So.
I played Kingdom Hearts 1. I spent about 6 hours trying to beat the first boss, and I hated it because I was reading wikis, I was watching tutorials, and I was doing exactly as it said, but I still couldn't beat it, and I didn't like how long it took. To go from region to region isn't just like a click, you've got to fly through a star field, dodging crap. You've got to do that every single time. I was like, I can't be arsed with that. I might just watch the cutscenes of
I'm definitely
everything,
like
and then play 3.
interested. I'm definitely interested in Kingdom Hearts because I love Disney. I'm a really, really big Disney fan. But like Bill was saying, it's just because they've spread that franchise across so many platforms, and all of the game have some semblance of story importance or whatever.
Yeah.
From the sounds of things, and I don't know where to even go.
Start.
Like, what do I do?
I think the best route, if you just want to do it quick and dirty, is I guess to get 1.5 and 2.5.
Yeah, but then you've
For-
got to
for
play
PS3.
through 1.
Yeah, but maybe
Well,
I
yeah.
would like one.
Maybe you
You
would.
don't know.
Maybe you won't suck at the
I
first
played-
boss for 6 hours.
I played the first one a little bit. My brother had it, and I didn't play it much. I liked what I played, but like back when I was a kid, my attention span. Even now, I jump between games. I just never got around to really playing it, and like beating it. I was too addicted to the bouncer for the PS2. Square, where's the bouncer 2 at? You fucks.
Sleeping Dogs 2. Please,
been like-
please.
It's
been
one
like
of the reasons that Square was dull. They had
like
a
15
montage
years.
between every single announcement. They just play a new montage.
Yeah, and then they played like a bit of Sleeping Dogs that I didn't actually recognize, and then put Triad Wars, like the logo for Triad Wars, on the screen. I was like, oh no.
And everyone was really boring. It was just a really hard conference to sit through at the end of everything.
It was. I think that was what killed it for us, because we were just like, okay, we could do the PC gaming conference, but I don't think any of us want to at this point.
No.
This is literally the worst end to E3 that we could possibly have imagined. So you dodged a bullet there, Bill.
To be fair, because we didn't bother with the PC one, we made it an awful end. But it was a case of I didn't really want to be staying up for another 5 hours on the off chance that the PC one might be okay.
Like, me and Andy watched half of it the next day, and then sort of it didn't buffer anymore, and we were like, okay, well, I guess we're not watching any more of that. Like, we didn't even try to get it to buffer again.
But there's a new roller coaster tycoon type game, which I'm pretty
interested in.
Yeah!
What's it called? Planet Coaster.
Yeah, Planet Coaster. I saw that on Reddit. I was like, I don't remember that from E3 at all.
Totally up for that. That looked cool.
Admittedly, it was a pure CG trailer, but I am down for a new roller coaster tycoon game.
I mean, there is a new roller coaster tycoon coming out sometime, but it doesn't look good.
It was good.
But if Planet Coaster turns out to look really, really interesting, then yeah, I'm up for it.
Yeah, that's pretty much E3.
Yep.
So I guess we maybe want to open it up.
If anyone has any questions.
Any questions of anything that we missed that we should have talked more about?
Question.
So what was your highlight, Kinross? Because I know Bill's probably Shenmue, mine was Fallout 4.
I guess... either probably Unravel or Triforce Heroes, just for being something unexpected that actually looked pretty decent.
I mean, Link gets pom-poms, so...
He does. He can also cross-dress.
Yes. Cosplay Link. I'm all for that. Cosplay Link. Best Link.
Yeah.
You can make him dress up like Zelda.
It did look pretty awesome. Would you, I guess since we've now done it, if we're still around in a year, gonna do it again?
Not in the same way.
Are we all gonna go to America and all be in one house and?
Dude, that'd be hype as shit.
Because there's no time delay for us to have to deal with. It's just like, yeah, it's at a reasonable time.
I think next year we could do a few things differently. I think we could do it on Twitch this way, the way we're doing this. And I think we only do Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo.
And maybe we get Yokohama and Kubo back.
Oh yeah.
Hint.
If you're watching this, Yokohama and Kubo, if you don't respond in 20 seconds, you're kicked off the podcast.
I mean, 20 seconds is a really long time when you put up a VOD.
It's a countdown music if they don't answer.
Who wants to replace Bill? No, not Bill. Who wants to replace Yokohama and Kubo then?
I thought you were about to then just say, who wants to replace Kinross, the replacement for the other two? We don't like him. Get him. Gone.
Who wants to replace me? I don't want to do this anymore.
We're just going to rebrand. Everyone's gone.
It's a whole new cast. Yeah, it's like the show Misfits. Everybody's new.
No, we don't talk about Misfits.
I'm guessing that there's not really anyone that we missed. Anything that we missed. Maybe we went for
Nothing
about our time.
Yeah.
Unless there's anything you want to bring up.
Fallout 4.
Nothing.
Yeah. Although I do think that my favourite moment of E3 was Bill's reaction to Shenmue.
Oh, you mean...
Did you just play the sound? Are you just continuing to play the sound?
Yeah.
Alright, I need to unmute the stream to listen to this.
I really hope it comes through.
And just because I spent so long on it, I'm gonna play something to you all. So if you'd be quiet, please.
I'm lagging behind, so I don't know what it is.
There's only so much conference editing I can deal with.
You fucker, man. Fantastic. I was bravo. Anyway,
Right.
Yeah.
That's the new theme song.
Very good.
I remember when Permadeath had a theme song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On it. We're probably not going to have another episode on Monday. I'm assuming we're going to say that now.
Yeah, no, this is episode 18. I hope you guys like it.
Okay. 19, I guess. We'll hopefully... We're legal!
We're legal in the States! Just ruin that for you, Bill. You're just like, oh no, not this again.
We can now buy alcohol, tobacco here.
Yep, we can. You can smoke and drink and then fly over to America.
And
go to a strip club!
Yeah.
You can go to a strip club?
At 18 here, yeah.
But
Wow.
there's booze there.
A lot of them, not that I know from experience. I don't. There's only one in my town, and I know because it's a big joke, because it's really like, just like, it looks scary. It's BYOB, so you can go in. They don't serve anything there. Mm-hmm. Apparently, yeah, you have to bring it yourself, so. Yarp.
All right, shall we end this?
Yes, we're going to end this now. Thank you very much to everyone who came
Thank
along.
you.
Yeah.
Special thanks to Andy again.
Yes, thank you very much for joining us. I very much appreciated, especially since I couldn't make it to a few of them, or I was late to some of them. It was
me and Kinross would have just been like,
yeah, very happy.
Well, we all know what happened when I was left to it all by myself at the start of Nintendo. So thank you also to you guys for
yeah, thank you to everyone for joining.
Yeah.
And we shall see you next time.
Yep.
Yes.
Look for the VOD for this. Look for this on iTunes. It'll be there. I hope you guys have a wonderful life for the rest of your life.
We'll be back someday.
Yep.
The problem is, I don't know when it cuts off, so I'm gonna have to just leave it going for a bit and then stop the stream.
We'll just keep waving.
So.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. We're just gonna keep waving.